previously, we reacted to the call between MrPokke and the Gacha cast people. I think there was like I think there's a VTuber girl there, and then I saw Tectone, and then I actually don't know the rest of them, like the other three guys. So I'm just gonna say Tectone and friends, basically. Since I'm pretty sure Gacha Cast is like Tectone's like show, right? So we reacted to that. I've given like a lot of my thoughts on it. Most of the time, I think I repeated some of the words, but I really hope that like I got my point across like in a good way. Now we're gonna react to the actual like Poke's reaction to the whole thing, and I'm gonna admit I heard some of it like when I was like listening to Sentonta's stream earlier, while the call reaction earlier was my first time listening to everything. Like this one's I've listened and like heard some of like the points, and that's like the whole reason I'm trying to like react to this, because like some of the example that he uses is really bad, and I really want to debunk that. So without further without further delaying, stalling, let's get to it.
It's going to be the most serious video I've made in my channel for a very long time. So I would appreciate it if you could watch and understand the full thing, right? I promise I won't stall too much. I'll try to represent all the facts, my feelings and opinions, and get straight to the point. This is not a clickbait. This is not a joke. There's no gotcha. There's no belated April Fools. There's no nothing, right? I will not be putting Castorice nor her signature Lycon on my main HSR account, right? Not now, not her rerun, not ever, not in 1 year, not in 2 years. I will never, ever, ever pull Castorice for my main account, right? You must be wondering what led me to this decision, especially when I just made a video about, are you wrong for pulling Castorice? So, in summary, yes. Yes, I am wrong, not because I want to pull, right? I want to pull Castorice. I am wrong for wanting to pull Castorice because
No, no. He's trying to pinpoint the problem into a single point already. Bro, you're wrong for doing it after saying that like global passive is bad. Just don't say anything. Just don't say anything. Pull for her, no problem. Or if you're gonna pull for her right now, just own up.
I called out global passives implementation in HSR, right? I made this 40-minute video where I basically discussed why global passive is not going to be a good thing for the game.
Yeah, you made that video, therefore lurking, eating miyayam. Hey, enjoy your meal. So you're basically trying like, did he not see the problem in his own statement? Like let's take this theory to its like to the end, right? He made a video on how bad like global passive is for the game, but he was still thinking of pulling the characters. What does that say to you? What does that imply to people? What is the implication to other people? There's this thing that's gonna ruin the game in the long run, and I'm gonna do it anyway. Do you know what's the implication of that? Is that I don't fucking care what you guys like, what your experience is. The only thing that I care about is my experience. That is the implication, basically. Why? Because if anything happened, if more power creep happens, guess what? I have the cash. I can keep swiping, bro. Now, this is like, of course, this is like the theory. This is the hypothetical theory that would happen if we keep drawing the line where, like, I made a video about how bad global passive is, but I'm gonna pull for it anyway. And that's fine. If you don't care about what other people, what happens to other people, that's fine. A lot of people do. Just don't say that you're, just don't deny it. The problem is that you're trying to deny that.
And by pulling for Castorice, I'm supporting the most predatory practice in Honkai Star Rail.
You are. By buying it, you are. And it and you don't have to care what people say to do it, right? You can do it and not care about what people say. It's just you care about them too much to actually do it.
Essentially am placing my enjoyment of Honkai Star Rail over the morality, right? The
You are.
moral and ethical components of not pulling for Castorice. And since I would not have my content, have my character, either as a player or a content creator or anything, I will not have them be questioned by anyone, be it if they are going to be my fellow streamers, fellow content creators, my fans, my haters, or anyone in between. I will be skipping Castorice. So I'll be covering what led to this decision, why I decided to not pull for Castorice, the impact of not pulling Castorice on my account, and just generally my thoughts about what happened last night in the Gacha class, right? So first things first, to understand essentially how we even got to this point in the first place, last night, or rather technically this morning, at roughly 1 to 2 a.m.-ish my time, it happened with this call involving Tectone, Janazet, Shinya, Captain Cabinet, as well as this wizardry content creator called JJ, the GOAT, right? Bro is completely out of this, by the way, right? JJ doesn't play Jazza, doesn't give a damn. He's just there to talk about wizardry, right? So,
Oh, okay. Wait, who was it again? Shinya, Janizet, Tectone, and who's the girl again? I think Shinya is the dude with the beard, right? Janizet is like the dude that is like on the top that keeps saying that it's not your fault. Tectone is the bald guy, obviously. I think JJ is JJ like the dude with the long hair. So who's the girl again?
I will be providing the segment where
I'm not gonna repeat that just to listen to the name.
Joined the call, right? I was not invited, but you will know why I eventually got into the call towards the end. I'll provide the full segment where I got into the discussion with all of them at the end of this video, right? So do check out Tectone's video. I do believe that he's most likely going to be posting the full video of the Gacha cast on his channel, right, when he's up. I was basically playing League of Legends when I was listening to Gacha cast. I shit you not, I was playing League. I was getting super fucking tilted, and then, it happened, right? What caused me to want to join in is essentially Shinya, right? Shinya, he started to bring me into the conversation. So these creators, right? These creators, all of the creators in the Gacha cast, none of them really plays HSR, or at least enjoy.
I'm not an expert, right? But he started off telling the story by discrediting everyone already. All these people, right? They don't play the game that I play. They don't know the real situation. They don't have any stake in this situation. That's like literally the opening arc. This is literally 3 minutes in. This is like, he hasn't even talked into the actual meat of the show. This is just him explaining it. And he already put a bias into it. This is already a problem already.
Draw HSR to the close, not really to the point of my degree, I would say. They are basically talking about the global passive and why it's predatory. And it's the same things that's been discussed for the past few days. And essentially, Shinya started the discussion of saying HSR, and I quote him verbatim in this clip over here.
I think this is the canon event that is going. Okay, so let's talk about this a little bit of chat earlier. So you know how Genshin was good for a
No mods, don't emote, only emote. Say whatever the fuck you want to say. I don't give a damn.
long time, and then it started getting shit. Content creators started defending it. We are literally in that same moment in time as HSR is. We are watching the current day Enviosities and Psyoxes being born in front of our eyes, and we don't realize it. We are stuck in a time loop. This is Genshin 2.0. The same situation is happening. It was a good, fun game. It started getting bad over time. Nobody called it out. People were afraid to call it out. There's going to be some...
Oh, so they're referring to like how like it's going through the same timeline. Is that like the game started off real good and then it went downhill from there? Okay, makes sense.
CCs left that completely shield the game, and in a few months' time, they're going to be memed on.
Oh, okay. I mean, I don't know who Enviosity or like Ziox is, but yeah, that makes sense.
Like who? And oh man, I don't want to say any names.
Oh, okay.
Unless you want me to instigate.
No, I mean, no, because here's the thing.
Yeah, essentially that was sort of like the situation just now. I know that Shinya was basically insinuating it's me, while not.
He didn't. There's insinuation, and then they're actually calling out names. He didn't name drop you. You know, he didn't. And to be fair, you're not putting yourself in a good position, to be fair, with like all the takes you've been having in this past few months. I don't even follow content creation that much, but like, god damn it, some of their takes can be really awful.
Really saying my name, and he was essentially not very happy with my viewpoints regarding global passives, right? Especially, there was this video that I made, which is, are you wrong for pulling Castorice? And he reacted to it.
Morally, yeah. But you can do whatever the fuck you want to do. Do you know there's a saying in America that this is America, the land of freedom? I can do whatever the fuck I want to do. Basically applies to your life.
On the stream, I think a couple of days before Tectone went back, which I believe, if we take a look over here, not this one, right?
We finished the daily.
Right. So this happened on the 30th of March. So this is the day where Shinya caught the shit out on stream today, but I'm too lazy to start war, right? So this was the moment where he basically reacted to my video, which he is directly basically referring to me, right? In contrast to what Tectone is claiming, how the fuck is no one countering these claims? How is no one holding people accountable, etc., etc. So this video, right? This video that he's talking about is basically about the Drake's Revenge video. Right, Drake's Revenge is one of my viewers who says he's no longer gonna sub to my channel as long as I pull Castorice to my main account. He's okay with me playing HSR. He's okay with me making content for Castorice. He's okay with doing anything as long as I do not pull Castorice on my main account. He will be good. So if I pull, he's no longer sub, right? So at this point, I know.
And do you know why he does that? It's because he wants you, a person that he looks up to give a good example, a morally good example. That does not mean you have to follow it, because like you didn't follow him and like he unsub and so be it. You know, you lose one viewer. Boo-hoo. You have like 1,000 more. Like if I lose one viewer, I'll be at 0.
That Shinya already does not have a very favorable impression of how I view global passives. And he also insinuates that what I'm doing right now is essentially capturing a market, right? I am basically capturing a market. It's a business move to bring all the viewers that, you know, they used to watch all these different content creators for HSR, but since these like HSR creators, they're no longer going to be playing the game or like they're skipping characters for whatever reason, I am monopolizing these viewers. And I know that he said this because he said this on his own stream. And also we have this little, let me see if I can get this up over here. We also have this little comment that he dropped in Captain Cabinet. Yep. Captain Cabinet stream, right?
Captain Cabinet. Is that a girl?
I am doing this to capture all of the Genshin and Hoyo Shield viewers that are leaving the CCs that are quitting HSR. He said this on his own stream. He said it in another streamer's chat. So I know this is why he thinks of me, right? And also on top of this, he also doesn't feel that I should be making jokes on Twitter and downplaying the global passive because I'm basically reducing the impact of how truly predatory this practice is, which is going to be from this clip over here. Brings up.
Yes, you are. If you make a joke of something, you're downplaying it. That's how you turn it into a joke. You downplay it.
Very odd.
I think
It's very weird.
Memeing about it as well, right?
Shit,
it's like the whole memeing thing. I think is a bit of a smoke screen to kind of normalize the situation, right? It's a tactic that people do. Like we meme about it, joke about it. Suddenly it's just haha funny, and then no one takes it seriously. Then no one fucking cares. You just fatigue people from saying the same thing over and over and over again, and it's like, okay, global passive is really funny, and that's it. And then suddenly no one gives a shit anymore because everyone's just so tired from it, and that's what's gonna happen. And what is?
You know what? Let's do this. I'm gonna put myself in the middle.
Situation is turning into a joke as opposed to something that we should be concerned about and we should be talking about in a critical light, as opposed to just haha funny meme. It's bad, lol.
Yeah, so basically, you know, I shouldn't be downplaying these globals because let's be honest, I made like a in all honesty, I made hella memes.
You can meme it like now and there, but if you keep doing that, then you're just downplaying the problem that like literally existed, my dude. Memeing it once or twice is fine. If you like, cause like that's the word that the girl was using earlier, right? Is that like you're gonna make people get tired of it eventually by constantly like memeing about it. Like that's the thing. If you just meme it once and then like you can, you can a good what is the English again? Let me see. Let me do a Google Translate real quick. Okay. In a business meeting, right? You can make one or two good jokes. But if you keep making jokes in a meeting, in a work meeting, you're basically not respecting the other party that is there. Like having like a one good lighthearted joke. Sometimes you cannot even make a joke, right? It depends on like the severity of the meeting, right? You gotta like know the situation before like you can meme. And like this is a game, right? This is not like a life and death situation and stuff like that. So meme once or twice, that's fine. But like if you keep doing the memes and the jokes, then you're literally doing what they're saying. You're downplaying the problem. I don't see like why is that such like a hard thing to like notice.
I made hella memes about global passive.
So I'm gonna.
The minority of people who do care, yeah, they're gonna shit.
He reacted to my video.
Like who?
Yeah, essentially that was with my viewpoints regarding global passives, right? Especially there was this video that I made, which is, are you wrong for pulling Castorice? And he reacted to it on the stream. I think it happened on the 30th of March. So this is the video that he's talking about.
And I have to like find it again.
Basically about the Drake's Revenge video. Right, Drake's Revenge is one of my viewers who says he's no longer going to sub to my channel as long as I pull Castorice to my main account. He's okay with me playing HSR. He's okay with me making content for Castorice. He's okay with doing anything as long as I do not pull Castorice on my main account. He will be good. So if I pull, he's no longer sub, right? So
you pulled main account, right? You haven't pulled in the main account. Is the character released already?
At this point, I know that Shinya already does not have a very favorable impression of how I view global passives. And he also insinuates that what I'm doing right now is essentially capturing a market, right? I am basically capturing a market. It's a business move to bring all the viewers that, they used to watch all these different content creators for HSR. But since these like HSR creators, they're no longer going to be playing the game or like they're skipping catches for whatever reason, I am monopolizing these viewers. And I know...
I mean... Is it wrong to insinuate something like that? You're a content creator, right? If you make a content, obviously it's there because you want to capture viewers, right? Is that not a business move? Making content? Creating content for views? I thought this is your job.
Know that he said this because he said this on his own stream. And also we have this little, let me see if I can get this up over here. We also have this little comment that he dropped in Captain Cabinet. Yep. Captain Cabinet's stream. Right. Oh. I am doing this to capture all of the Genshin and Hoyo Shield viewers that are leaving the CCs that are quitting HSR. He said this on his own stream. He said it in another streamer's chat. So I know this is why he thinks of me, right? And also on top of this, he also doesn't feel that I should be making jokes on Twitter and downplaying the global passive because I'm basically reducing impact.
I already watched this.
Truly predatory this practice is, which is going to be from this clip over here.
It's very odd.
It's very weird. Memeing about it as well, right? It's like the whole memeing thing I think is a bit of a smokescreen to kind of normalize the situation, right? It's a tactic that people do. Like we meme about it, joke about it. Suddenly it's just haha funny, and then no one takes it seriously, then no one fucking cares. You just fatigue people from saying the same thing over and over and over again. And it's like, okay, global passive is really funny, and that's it. And then suddenly no one gives a shit anymore because everyone's just so tired from it. And that's what's gonna happen. And what is
downplaying it? Yeah, it's downplaying the situation and turning it into a joke as opposed to something that we should be concerned about and we should be talking about.
And yeah. If you're someone whose livelihood comes from playing gacha games, it's going to be a big problem. Why? Because the less people play these gacha games, the less viewers you have. So it is definitely a big problem that you have to address if you're someone that have a stake on it. Or if you're someone that really enjoy the game and you want to keep playing the game without getting nickel and dime every time. I think that's a good stake to have in a game like this, right? In a problem like this, right?
In a critical light, as opposed to just haha funny meme. It's bad, lol.
Yeah, so basically, you know, I shouldn't be downplaying these global because let's be honest, I made like in all honesty, I made hella memes. I made hella memes about global passive. I think it's funny as fuck, right? So this is true, right? This is true. I am in fact making a lot of memes about global passive. So there is gonna be all these portions. It happened before I joined into the call. They didn't invite me. I told them that I want to join. So all this happened before I joined, right? So Tagtone, right? Tagtone, on the other hand, is basically saying that I'm a hypocrite, right? I'm a hypocrite for not supporting global passive, which I stated in my 40-minute video, but I'm still pulling for Castorice.
Yeah, you are. Accept it and move on.
He thinks that no creators should sell their morality or their soul for these companies. So this is the...
Yeah. They shouldn't. It's morally wrong. And you can still do it.
Clip that he mentioned over here, right? Hold up.
100% just own it, but saying that you have to, shut the fuck up. Nobody has to do.
No, nobody has to do it. You do it because... In your own words, MrPokke. You do it because you love the character and you want to use her. Not because you have to.
Anything, but like, dude, it's gonna earn me an extra $200 this month. Yeah, well, also being truthful, sticking to your ideals is gonna benefit you long term. That way your audience knows that you're not just a fucking mindless shill that's gonna throw all their principles out the window for any opportunity to make 40 to 50.
Or maybe you'll make more money if if your viewers are Hoyo shills. It really depends, right? Like Tectone is assuming the situation based on like his own community, which is like people that like in general does not like that kind of practices, right? But like if you're someone that whose viewers are mainly like people that love Hoyo games, then like the more you praise the game, the more they'll love you. They'll love you as long as they love the game too.
$50. It's complete fucking bullshit, and I don't buy into it at all. Maybe short term it might benefit you, but long term it's gonna fuck you. And me personally, my ideals are much more important to me than a video that might be a 3 of 10. Fuck that.
Yeah, basically what Tectone said. Now, again, Tectone is really abrasive when it comes to like talking. I feel like he's the same as like Asmongold. Is that like the way he talks is really aggressive and like really upfront. But what he's trying to say is basically, it's morally bad, and I don't like doing the morally bad things. If you want to do it, you can do it. Just know it's morally bad. Just accept that. That's what he want to say.
Yep, so that is gonna be that. I know, like, at this entire point of time, they didn't bring up my name, right? They didn't bring up my name, but I know that the people that he was referring to over here is basically myself, as well as Brexit. And it is quite obvious to anyone that has been...
Yeah, but he's just saying he's not gonna do what you guys are doing, right?
Following what has been going on, such as, you know, his entire chat, right? They know that he's basically talking about me and Brexit. He is insinuating that myself, as well as Brexit, we are hypocrites for pulling Castorice because we don't support global...
You are.
Passive, but yet we're still gonna pull forward, right? So if I still want to pull for Castorice, I should just suck it up and accept that himself, the creators, his community, his chat, they will continue to label me as this hypocrite guy or this...
They will say it once on a reaction video of you pulling the character. And then maybe they'll bring it up every now and then. Because like I used this example during like the video call, like during the call reaction. Is that like I used to be poor. And a lot of my friends are also in the same situation as I am. So we don't really spend money on games. We don't really buy microtransactions. And then after I moved to America and I started working here, obviously I have money, right? So I started spending money on skins, on gachas, and like, you know, on expensive stuff like new PC, nice VR headsets, and like they started memeing about me and be like, "Hey, look who's here, like, hello king, welcome. Let me roll the red carpet for you." Come on, King, join us. Like, when are you gonna treat me to like that nice dinner in the buffet and stuff like that? And like, it's a harmless joke, right? But it is still technically, an attack, right? In a way. It's like them memeing me, right? Memeing about my actions, right? And I can just, I can make a big deal of it, or I can just accept it and then like laugh with them and then move on. Just accept it. I mean, in their eyes, what I am doing is technically like something that is wrong, right? Spending all this needlessly spending all this money on like hobby stuff. Maybe they're doing it out of like envy. Maybe they're doing it just to like joke around. But like, it doesn't matter. All I have to do is accept it and move on, and that's it. Problem solved. We move on to the new things. Like, we're still friends. We're still chat around. I even shared some of my money with them. I bought a friend of mine like a new graphics card. So,
this show guy, and it's just something that I have to live with. Bragg said on his tweet that it's for his job, right? He's gonna be putting cash.
Yeah, it is for his job. Like what Braxophone did is a cowardice move. In Tectone's word, like the way he said it would probably be like, "You're a pussy." Guess what? If it pays the bill, being a pussy is fine. There's a reason a lot of people out there chose to work 9 to 5 over robbing a bank. It's because we're all a bunch of pussies, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. Just accept just accept the name calling for a day or two. Take it as a joke. Take it as a meme. Move on. You're done. Problem solved. It won't escalate.
Just for his job. Whereas for me, I don't give a fuck about that. I just like playing HSR. I want to play with Castorice. Just I'm the fucking dragon. That is the reason why I'm putting for Castorice.
Okay. Perfectly fine reasoning. Do the same thing Brax did. Accept it. Moved on. No one. I don't think I heard anyone else talk about Braxophone after that one post he made about like, I need to pull it because this is my job. And I'm like, okay. Like, I saw it, I was like, you're such a rat. I thought about it at first, right? And then I moved on. I didn't even comment on it. Because, like, it's such a rat move, but understandable. Have a good day.
So, I do want to, at this point in time, preface this by saying, Shinya has already apologized to me in the DMs before this video, right? Before I'm talking about this. And I honestly bear no hard feelings to anyone. I have no hard feelings with Tecto, no hard feelings with Shinya, no hard feelings to anybody. But whatever damage that have been done to this, let's just be real, for my branding, for my content, for my reputation, it needs to be held accountable. Because I can't continuously just don't point this out. And it has been going on for like the past couple of months, right? And this global opacity is pretty much the final straw where I'm like, okay, enough is enough. So the reason why this bothered me so much.
I feel like this sounds familiar. I think like the last time I watched Poke's videos is about like him complaining like about like a tournament friend that does not fully upgrade their team after saying that he wants to be serious about the tournament. Except that like in that scenario, he was like, Poke was in the right. Because he told them that, hey, I want to be serious. I want to win that money, like prize money. Yet this person fumbled hard by not maxing out their characters. But I don't know. I just feel like this feels like a deja vu to me.
More than it should, honestly, is because I've literally met these people. I've met Shinya, I've met Genesis, I've met Tectone, I've met them all in real life in America. I've literally seen Shinya's cats. He brought me to his place with Box 2, of course. We saw his huge gamer stuff collection. I've lived with Tectone in his house for like a week, and he showed us around all of Austin.
The fact that you've met them in real life does not make this better. It makes it worse. Because that means like, meeting them up in real life means, you understand them more, right? You understand the way they're thinking. That means like they understand that like, I feel like meeting them in real life would means like you understand them more as a person. So I don't understand why this reaction is like so I don't know. It feels like an explosion, right? When it could have been like something that they talk about in private instead.
Right? So at the end of the day, I feel like content is always going to be content. It doesn't really mean anything in the real world. And I should have honestly just brought this up that, okay, this is not okay. And whether it's like to push a narrative or whatever, this is not okay to me, right? So eventually it led to...
His chat said tag it toxic when he's just telling the truth. The way he talks is toxic, okay? Like Asmon and Tectone, I've been saying this. I like some of their takes. Like, you know, I don't fully agree with every takes that they make, right? And also they suck as a gamer, not gonna lie. Like, especially like during their game streams, sometimes my brain hurts sometimes from seeing it. But I think their worst sin, their worst problem about the two, like Tectone and Asmon Gold, is the way they talk. It's really unfiltered and like upfront. And maybe it comes from the fact that they're like a big streamer and like a rich people, maybe. I'm not sure. But like regardless of like why they act that way, it does not change the fact that the action itself can cause a lot of problems, right? It's like a police saying like put your guns down, you know? There is a put your guns down and like put your guns down, freeze, don't move, and like, you know, it's both the same thing, but the other one sounds much more like, you know, the other one sounds like you're super aggressive, and like the other one is like you're calm and in control, and like, man, would you please put your gun down, and like stuff like that. You know, it's like the way you say it can change people's perspective.
To a point during the Gacha cast when this entire thing was going on, I basically...
And also welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the mi ayam, the chicken noodle.
At Shinya, right? I add Shinya in Tectone's chat after he just constantly, subtly is basically saying me, but he doesn't want to say my name. So I just said, if you have something to say it to my face. I typed that twice, and by my second time, Tectone was like, yo, Shinya, like, Pokke said if you have something to say it to my face. Then he added me to the call. So basically, yes, I self-inserted into the Gacha cast call, because if he had want to tell me something, then yeah, let's talk, man. Let's talk, right? So you can see the full call at the end of this video, right? Like I mentioned, I'm going to be posting the full call where I entered at the end of this video, so take a look at that. But essentially, almost the entire chat and pretty much everybody on the call.
It's good, especially with iced lemon tea on a hot day. Man, I don't think so. I personally think that chicken noodle is best have in the middle of the night when it's raining cold outside, and I just want to have like a nice warm chicken noodle with like the chicken broth. Oh, man. Something about that just feels nice.
They don't agree with me. They don't really
like the iced lemon tea is good for the hot day though. The chicken noodle is not. I think the chicken noodle is better on like a cool day, like a cold rainy day.
Perspective, and saying that me pulling for Castorice is me being hypocritical, because
it is, and it doesn't matter if you just roll with it. Just roll with it, brother.
I'm basically supporting a predatory practice while calling it out at the same time, right? To say that the mood, the environment, it was not pleasant, is honestly a big understanding.
It wasn't pleasant because you keep trying to defend yourself. As I've said earlier, and this whole freaking stream of mine, if you're in the wrong, just admit you're wrong. You refused to admit, so the mood got foul.
Statement, and the following examples I'm going to be showing you guys is basically just a couple of different moments from his chat, right? And honestly, there's like so much that I can't really capture the full thing. But if you want to take a look at the actual call itself, which is going to be at the end of the video, you can see how his chat's response was during that point of time. So I'm just going to be pulling up a couple of screenshots where, you know, it's the general sentiment of what his chat was feeling during that time. And keep in mind, this is, I believe, 6,000 over people at the same time watching this call go on. So I'm not really gonna read anything. You can just kind of take a look, right? Take a look.
It's not even that bad. I don't understand. They're not even wrong. You cannot skip a character, bro. Like, are you that much addicted to the game? Like, right? Like, that's basically the implication, right? Or like, if you want to play Castorice, doesn't even mention the passive is bad. No, you can mention it. Just own up to it. It's bad, and I'm gonna enjoy it. Screw you all. Right? Right? It's like like if there's a person fasting in front of you and you want to have your lunch, right? Is it the best thing to eat in front of them? No. Can you still do it? Yeah. If you have to do it, then you have to do it. Like, for example, if you're on like on the break room, right? Like during work, for example, and you don't have any other space to eat from, like, there's no more, like, the only area where you can eat is like in the break room, and there's someone that happens to be fasting in front of you. Is it a bad thing to eat in front of someone that is fasting? Yeah, you can argue it's a bad thing because, like, you're basically tempting them, right? But at the same time, you can keep doing it anyway, bro. Bro can handle the heat. You cannot, because you're making this video right now, right? We aren't talking about that, Mr. Dookie, Mr. Hypocrite. I mean, if you ended up buying the character, you are. And also, free is always nice. Yeah, I can't complain too. I get his point, but just I get his point, just not framing it right. Yeah. No. Yeah. Hypocrite L and doesn't even sound that bad. Because you are the cornerstone of the community, you idiot. If you were a regular player, yeah, who cares? But you're someone that people look up to. Yeah, see, that's the thing. As a content creator, you bear the cross. Why do you have to care about the stuff that you do? Because you're a content creator. Because you have influence. That's why they called content creator influencer. My dude. You can just have fun. Oh, Ethan here says the right thing too. He's basically saying what everyone is saying, right? You can have fun. Nobody's saying you can't play or have fun. No, you can have fun. People are gonna call you shit. You just move on from it, right? Oh, why is he getting mad about people calling him a hypocrite? People are dragging out for the long. Oh, no. He's not even dragging out for the long time. He just lost Tectone. They basically broke up their friendship now because of this video. This is one of the reasons I wanted to react to it, because like the outcome is so like nuclear that I was like, wait, all this over a gacha game, over a 2D character?
Keep in mind, all these timestamps, they are like not in a single time frame. It is, I try to spread out a little bit more towards the entire call, because this is basically the entire sentiment of the entire chat as long as I was in the call. Right, cool.
Just accept I am a hypocrite. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Feel bad for JJ. Yeah, I feel bad for JJ too. Like the long haired dude. I think he doesn't understand anything, right? All he can do is just like stare there as like they're like debating with each other. Like I feel kind of bad. Like it feels like it reminds me of like me like in the middle of like a conversation when I don't understand anything, and I'm just like here like please don't notice me. I'm gonna just blend with the shadow. I will blend with the shadow.
So I left the call at roughly 2:30-ish a.m. my time. And then they went on to talk about wizardry and everything. Then that is pretty much it, right? So that is the sequence of events that happened in the call. After this, when the call ended, right, I left the call because I was not meant to be there in the first place. I went on to Twitter announcing that I am not going to be pulling for Castorice. And at that point of the tweet, most people that were in the comment section for the tweet itself, you can take a look over here, they are saying W, right? W, aura farming, historical, monumental W, a lot of W, holy.
Do you know why they call it W? It's a moral win. It's a moral win. It's the morally right thing to do after it, like if you do it after you said global passive is bad. This is the morally right option, the morally right thing to do if you had said global passive is bad, in which you did. And you made 40 minutes of video of it according to your own statement. So I don't understand why are you so salty about supporting your own statement? Right? Why are you trying to pin it as if like these people are encouraging you to do it and like that's why you feel compelled to do it, right? That's the way he's framing it here right now, right? Is that like, oh, all these people are like giving me W's for doing quote unquote the right thing. And like, if you think about it, you're also you're doing a W for your own content because you're basically, you're basically you're basically like staying in line with the video that you already made before.
Career development, right? Good for standing on your morals, right? Very big W. It is they are very, very happy, right? This Drake's event as well, right? They are very, very happy that I am finally going to be skipping Castorice, right? Because I'm standing on my morals. I'm making the morally, ethically right decision. I am now placing my moral compass above my personal enjoyment of Honkai Star Rail, and therefore this is a W move, right? And in fact, I'm not baiting, by the way. Check. I really am not baiting. I am not pulling for Castorice. Like I really am not. So at this point, that was essentially.
We force a CC to follow my opinion. No one is forcing him anything. They're just telling him, hey, you already made this choice. There's two options to go through. Morally good or fuck them all. Either it's like, either option is perfectly valid. Braxophone just picked, Braxophone picked the second one. He just do it gracefully by saying, hey, it's part of my job. I'm going to do it anyway. Braxophone literally show it to Pokey that you can do it gracefully. Just take the small L of like being called a hypocrite, and then they moved on.
What led to this tweet right here. And now I'm going to be explaining to you guys why I typed this out. Why I'm skipping Castorice, right? And why I think this entire situation is just a very, very sad reflection of my friends. I do consider like Taito and Jens and everything. I do consider my friends. We've literally met in real life. I think it's a very sad reflection of my friends, as well as the community that is being shared amongst these people, right?
What? See the literally blame everyone. Literally just like this decision is made because my friends are assholes.
My biggest crime, after thinking about it the whole of last and just now when I was at the gym, I really think that my biggest crime, honest to God, is that I enjoy Honkai Star Rail way too much for my own good.
I mean, yeah, that's a sin that like a lot of people can can relate to. A friend of mine is like super addicted to Nintendo stuff that they cannot stop playing. Some of them are addicted to freaking Bang Dream. It's perfectly human and normal.
Yep, because now that I think about it, I really am essentially just a random nobody. Right? I'm just a random guy from Singapore. I like to play HSR, but it just so happens that the stars aligned.
I didn't even know you're from Singapore. Okay, good to know.
For me to get myself this platform, this viewership, and this audience that can, just enjoy watching me, especially when I play HSR, right? At the end of the day, my actions as a player, it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter if I would pull a Castorice or not pull a Castorice. But the thing is, my action as a creator, it does matter, right? Because
it is. Yes, thank you for acknowledging that. You're not a random. No. He's making a point. Is that like if I'm a random from Singapore, it doesn't matter if I do shit like this. But since I'm a creator, I have to do it, right? Like, I mean, that makes sense. Like, the logic makes sense there.
Because I'm basically representing the community, the public, the social construct of what it represents to pull for Castorice.
Yeah, you are representing the community, and the community looked up to you. It's a two-way street. You are between you are the bridge between the players and the company, and that's why you cannot fucked up, and you cannot that's why people will say shit about you, because you're in the middle of the freaking crossfire.
So I am probably one of the few streamers left that still plays Honkai Star Rail this much, daily uploads, streams pretty much every single day. I have a main account, I have a free-to-play account, I have a creator experience server where I do all the guides. I do hundreds.
Okay, so like, good for you, right? Like, let me like, the less creator is there in the space, the more viewer you'll have, right? They have less option to go to now.
And hundreds of account reviews for the past 2 years, and at the end of everything, I didn't play HSR as a streamer. I streamed HSR as a player. And because I like HSR so much, it made me feel that shit, because I'm having so much fun in playing this game and playing this unit, it is now affecting my moral compass because of what Castorice represents, right? So I...
Wait. What?
I like HSR so much. It made me feel that shit, because I'm having so much fun in playing this game and playing this unit, it is now affecting my moral compass because of what Castorice represents, right? So I want to make it absolutely fucking clear to the people watching this, to anyone reading this, you have zero moral high ground to preach from, especially if you're a gacha content creator. In fact, I don't even know how the fuck is morality being brought to the question when you're pulling a gacha unit. Is pulling global passive any more immoral than pulling a broken unit on launch?
Yes. Well, actually, not specifically for... Let's simmer that down, right? Is pulling for an OP character, right, in itself, were like better or worse than pulling a global passive? My take on it is that yes, pulling a global passive is worse. Do you know why? Because there's a fucking word global on it. An OP character can only exist in one team, if you think about it, and as designed by the game, right? Acheron, when she came out, right? Super fucking OP. I pulled her E fucking 6. Guess what? I can only clear one side of the MOC with her. Why? Because she's not fucking global. She's a character. She only works in one side. A global passive? It works on every fucking team. Like, the MOC can be 3 teams, and every 3 teams will benefit from a global passive. Why? Because it's global. So yes, polling for a global passive is worse. Because now, instead of like making a super break meta, which involves 1 or 2 characters in a specific team, now you're gonna have to pull every single character, because now every single character can contribute to your team. Your whole team, like all of your team. By the way, how long are you gonna record this? I'm not recording anything. This is I'm gonna like edit the font basically of this video instead. Because like, I know I'm gonna be reacting, like when I first started the video, the video was like 1.5 hours, so I was already expecting it's gonna be long. I just didn't expect it to be this long, right? I'm just gonna edit like into 2 parts. One of them is gonna be like reacting to the call, to the actual full call, and then one of them gonna be in this one. And like I'm not gonna like go too far because like I got some of the gist of like the stuff. For example, like here, like he's gonna like in some part he's gonna talk more like less about the game and like more about like his relationship with like the content creation. And like I don't want to delve too much into that. I'm just mostly here to talk about like some of his take, because like when I was watching him, right, and like I was watching in like Saint Tonta's stream, like when I was listening, right, and he brought up like Vua a lot, and I'm like some of the things that he brought up like Vua in is kind of like unfair and like really like biased.
Is pulling a global passive any more immoral than spending what, 1,000, 2,000 US dollars for like an E6? Is pulling global passive any more immoral than the quality of life upgrades like one-shot enemy?
And also, if you think about it, like, right, like an OP character is part of the gacha system. It's already there in the beginning, right? But like global passive, it's something new. It's a worse addition. It's a new level of bad, basically, right? If you think about it, like everyone coming into gacha game already know that like, hey, some characters are just gonna be better with like, you know, characters will be better, will always be better with more constellations, and those constellation cost money. That's how they make money on the game, right? But like global passive adds a whole new layer on top of it, because now not only do you need the constellation of the character, now you need to actually have all of the characters to get like the full benefit, right? Now whether you like the character or not, if the character, like whether you like the character or not, if she has a global passive, she's gonna affect your gameplay either way, right? And like since the effect is there, the global passive is there, the game is gonna be, you know, just like what they're doing so far. They're gonna design the game based on the newest character, which guess what, includes the global passive. They're gonna design the content in a way that like takes into account that like, hey, we're gonna assume that the player have the Castorice global passive. So like we're gonna have this boss, for example, gonna do like a team wipe move one time, and if you don't have Castorice in your in your freaking account, or maybe Bailu in your party, or like someone like Fu Xuan in your party, then you're just gonna lose. You straight up cannot win. Like, what if they design the game that way? Because like they can do it, right? If they're targeting and like if the way they design the content is that like you can solve it by having the character, then like they can introduce new problems now. And like a whole layer of bad adds a whole layer of trouble. So yeah, it's worse. MrPokke, I don't know if you're gonna ever like even see this, but it is worse.
Enemies in the overall background or the overall exploration quality of life like in Genshin Impact and Water Waves. Because at the end of the day,
see how we brought him like Wuthering Waves?
You basically promote these gambling games to the consumers. Directly or indirectly, you are promoting this predatory gacha way of playing this game to your viewers. This entire morality discussion is unfucking justified, and you need.
What do you mean unfucking justified? You know, morality has a line. You know, I encourage people to kill demons on Doom. That does not mean, you know, to shoot them. That does not mean like for them to like go out in the real life and shoot them in like shoot things in real life too. Or like if I'm playing GTA and then like I drove out like I ran over people. Okay, am I encouraging the real thing to be done too? No, like you can draw a line somewhere. Global passive just happens to be something that is like across that line, right? Because again, global passive adds a whole new layer, a layer that we don't want to have in gacha games, because gacha games is already bad as it is. It does not need a whole new layer of badness in it. Don't you get it, MrPokke? We're trying to save people's ass from spending even more money. because right now you have the option to choose, but if you go down this route, there is a chance, and it's a pretty big chance because the character is there already, the gateway is there already, that one day you don't get to choose, that you have to get the character. Immoral to play gacha games, yes. Heck, it's even immoral to live in this planet, right? Because like, if you guys don't know, Earth can live with or without humans in it. And the fact that human lives in the Earth already causes problem for the planet itself, right? You cause pollution, you destroy the forest and like the environment and stuff like that. So like technically, even being born can be called immoral. What you're gonna do? You're gonna like oof yourself like in Minecraft? I mean,
need to see that, right? Genocide said that this is way worse because global passive is way more predatory than any normal gacha systems. Like the one,
it's a step up. It's an upgrade. It's predatory Pro Max. It's like an iPhone, good sir. There is an iPhone, there's an iPhone Pro, and then there's an iPhone Pro Max.
The Wuthering Waves, right? Because Wuthering Waves, you have 100% guaranteed weapon banner. There's no global passive. It's not as predatory. And
it is not.
Don't use an analogy of like different levels of crimes, such as
less predatory is still predatory. You're right. And at the same time, why are you making it the same problem then? You already knew that the game is less predatory.
Just for example, shoplifting and killing someone. So this is gonna be a clip right here. Let me just bring up.
That we're having is that what makes a criminal, right? So a criminal is someone who shoplifts because their family needs food and they can't survive, right? But a criminal is also someone who goes out and, sets fire to a 7-Eleven, kills somebody. We agree that they're all criminals, but there's levels to this, right? So obviously, I think there's sin involved in everything. I think there's sin.
Yeah, and like basically playing gacha games is like shoplifting, right? Think about it like this. Let's do the same crime, right? Let's do it the same way. Shoplifting is a crime. Playing gacha games is like stealing food. It's stealing. It's a crime, right? And like Wuthering Wave is like stealing a vegetable. It's a crime. Not as bad, not as predatory, not as bad. Still bad, still stealing, still a crime, not as bad. Playing like something like Honkai Star Rail, Genshin Impact, Zenless Zone Zero, like something like Snowbreak or like Girls Frontline. It's like stealing steak meat, right? More expensive food. Technically a worse crime. In terms of the item value, it's a worse crime because meat are expensive, especially the steak meat. A5 Wagyu, for example. Those meat cost a lot. Global passive, it's like stealing a fucking phone. It's a Grand Theft Auto. Why? Like it's a Grand Theft because it costs more than $1,000, especially if you stole a fucking iPhone. It's still a crime. It's still the same. It's still shoplifting, but now it counts as a whole different level of crime because the value is different, sir. iPhone Pro Max for now. People keep buying it. They add new tier. They're already doing it, right? Like if you think about it, like look at the Mac Studio stuff. They have the M3. They have the M3 Ultra, and then they have the M3 Max. No, I forgot. M3, M3 Pro, M3 Max, M3 Ultra. Right? They keep adding new tiers every single time. The reason we have predatory DLC is because we keep buying it. Yeah. So just own up to it or don't do it. One of the two. If you're gonna do it, own up. If you're not gonna do it, good for you. They already did. Like in the Mac Studio space, yeah, we have 4 different chips there. So M1, M2, M3, and then the Pro version, and then the Max. I think the Ultra version, and then the Max version. I think. Let me see. M3 Max. Okay, so Ultra is the last one, I think. Because like, so we got the normal M3, right? Let me see if I can get a picture here. Yeah, so Ultra is like the highest level. Ultra is basically 2 M3 Max combined into one. But it's a whole new tier. So they're just gonna keep adding shit up, yeah. The more you buy, the more they'll add shit up.
Involved with being a human. However, I think there's levels to that, and
yeah, there's levels of crimes, you know. It's one thing to lie to your friend about like stealing their cake, and then another thing about like stealing his wife and then cheating on him. Like cheating on him with like, you know, stealing her. NTR. Like they're both stealing, but like god damn, like they're both lying and stealing, but like god damn it, bro. That's like different level.
Where gacha games are all rooted in negative practices, and I want to make this very clear, I don't think that's just gacha games. I think that's all video games. I think all video games are bad.
No, that's a take I cannot have. Like, not all video games are bad. Video games are just a tool. It's just a mean to an end. Like, you know, it's just like a gun. Like it depends on like how you use it. It depends on like how you interact with it.
I think the real world is much more beautiful than video games. However, I don't think
yes and no. The graphics are nice, but the tutorial is awful, if I even get one, and the balance sucks. So I don't know. I'd rather choose a game personally, sir.
It's that big of a deal because there's ways to overcome it. There's ways to enjoy these games in a healthy manner. I don't think there's a way to enjoy global passives in a healthy manner. That's what.
Yeah, so basically, gamble smart, guys. Right? Gamble smart.
Do you know there is a way to enjoy the global passive in a healthy manner? Do you know what it is? Just pull all the characters. Just pull all the characters, guys. It's fine. Just have more money, bro. Just have more pulls, bro. It's fine. If you pull every characters, then global passive is not a problem for you because you have everyone, right?
Smart, so that it wouldn't be that bad. And I think that this comparisons it's just completely nonsensical.
Huh? 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 Huh?
It doesn't make any fucking sense. And in fact, the thing is that no one in that call, no one in the chat could see why this is a fucking nonsensical thing, right? So imagine this, right?
Okay. Explain why it's nonsensical, right?
In the real world, right? If anyone has any semblance of intelligence in the real world, if you are going to be using smartphones, right? iPhone, Android, whatever, are you supporting child labor?
No. I'm not supporting child labor, but I know it's made by them and I don't care. Right? That's why I have like, this is the example that I was using earlier. I own a Xiaomi phone. This is a phone made in China. And in China, work ethics are down the drain. Like people get overworked every day. Like I'm pretty sure like in China you only get 1 day off. Like you work 6 days a week and your shift is like 12 to 16 hours for like factory worker. Which is, I think, it's insane. Right? At the same time, I don't care about it as much if that means I get this good Xiaomi of mine, right? And just like that, most people probably wouldn't care it either. Some people would care, you know. Some people chose to live without a phone. Good for them. I ain't one of them.
If you're going to be using your air conditioner, right, when I'm blasting, I'm using air conditioner right now, right, when I'm streaming. Am I supporting global warming, right?
You are. Air conditioner does affect the environment, bro. You are like denying it is what makes you denying it is what makes us hate you and your replies. It's because you're denying it. Just accept it that you're destroying the environment and you're gonna do it anyway.
I'm wearing like, I don't know, Nike, Adidas, or everything. Am I supporting sweatshop conditions? And this brings me to the real hypocrisy, right? Because it kind of stems to the point of, being hypocritical.
What do you mean the real hypocrisy? You're the one that's being hypocritical here, because like that question earlier, right? Am I supporting global warming? The way you framed the question makes it like as if you don't think you are supporting global warming by doing that. No, you absolutely are. Your air conditioner will contribute to destroying the ozone layer of this planet. And you don't have to care about it. It's fine. Now, it's different. Like, if, for example, you don't support child labor and then you see a kid being, like, kidnapped in front of you to be trafficked and then you do nothing to stop it. That's a different thing.
Being hypocritical, you're being a hypocrite if you pull and you don't support it. So this is what I feel is going to be the real hypocrisy. And I fucking hate comparing gacha games and the tribalism and the politics and everything, because I believe that everyone has a right to play their own games. You want to enjoy your own games, right? You don't need to put other people down to enjoy your own games. But since we are already at this current point, then let's have at it, right? I will now basically point out the elephant in the room.
Oh no. He just said, like, we shouldn't do gacha tribalism. But since we're at this point, I'm gonna do gacha tribalism. The way that he said it sounds like that to me. I don't know about you guys, but it sounds like that to me.
If you pull for a broken unit in a gacha game, are you supporting a predatory practice? Because
I am. My actions directly or indirectly supports it. By pulling for Acheron, I'm telling them, hey, it's fine to make a character that is as broken as Acheron for your next patch, or maybe even worse. It's telling them that, like, hey, I like what you're doing, do more. Now that might not be my intention when I was pulling for Acheron. I just pulled her because she's hot as fuck. But like I said, it still indirectly contributes to that, to that direction.
Broken unit basically breaks the game balance, right? They come with shiny new FOMO inducing mechanics. Heck, I already have a comment. I literally have a comment saying that I need to skip an Exa, right? Hold up, let me pull this up. I already have a comment that says I need to skip an Exa as well if you are genuine to yourself and your audience.
Yeah. And like he explained the reason why he thinks they should do that, right? I didn't recall Anaxagoras having a global passive. What's the issue with him exactly? So Anaxagoras is like the new character, the guy. His ultimate is basically Silver Wolf Pro Max. Silver Wolf in this game applies one weakness to your enemy that is like dependent on your character's, like your team elements, right? Anaxa doesn't care. He's gonna add every single element as a weakness on your enemy. So fuck you, no more weaknesses. Who cares about weaknesses? Who cares about tactics, guys? If you have Anaxa, you don't have to worry. Now, Anaxa is less of a problem because like Anaxa is more comparable to like Acheron in terms of like scale of problem, right? Because like he's an OP character. Like he's still a problem, don't get me wrong, he's still a problem. He's just in comparison to global passive, he's less of a problem. Why? Because in global passive, Castorice does not even need to be on your team. That's the thing. Anaxa is OP, but you gotta have him on your team to actually do something. Castorice skips that part. You just have her on your account. Everyone gets the benefit. Now I made this example last time, but like What if they release like freaking Nanook, like the Aeon of Destruction, right? And then like the moment you use like if you have him on your account, every time you enter a battle, he would instantly smite the enemy and kills everyone. No, it doesn't. Now, if you have a character that does, like, this is obviously a very like hyperbolic example, right? But what I'm trying to say is that, like, regardless of whether you like Nanook or not, you're gonna have to pull for him, right? Because now the effect matters even when you don't have the character in your party. It just applies every single fucking time. So now guess what? Next time, if he comes out like that, the content is going to be tuned to him. The content is going to be like every single enemy has to be killed twice or thrice, or like, you know, maybe every single enemy like is unable to die unless you do a certain way to kill him, because they have like, you know, maybe some bosses just cannot be killed immediately because you have someone that does that. So like that's the problem. The problem is that like it introduced a new layer of problem, which the company and the developer of like Honkai Star Rail is gonna base their work at. So if the problem is currently at like level 100, global passive is like a level 200 problem. If you go there, now every content moving forward is going to be scaled at level 200. Imagine if I pulled Chichi and like she does coordinated attack even when she's not in the party. That's crazy. Yeah, that would be crazy. Yeah, that would be similar. But I don't think it's the same problem, because like the reviving technically is not as bad as like a permanent attack like that, right? Technically speaking, but it sets the same precedence.
All right. So should I just, or not just I, should we all,
for now, exactly, for now. If you choose to support it, it'll be like that for now. They're testing the water. Exactly. That's what businesses do.
skip every single strong unit in the Gacha game or anything that has any quality of life? Because if you...
No. If you want to be morally right, that's what the guy said. If you genuinely think you're in the right, you know, if you genuinely want to do the game right, you skip it. But you don't have to. See? You don't have to be morally right? You can just pull it if you want to, bro. Like, I think global passive is bad. I'll be honest with you. But like, that dragon's so cool, and I don't care about the state of like Honkai Star Rail. I'll probably pull for her when she comes out. Guess what? I'm telling you guys right now. Who the fuck cares? The game dies tomorrow? Fuck you. Like, people who love the game will suffer. Like me, I don't really care.
If you want to be, you know, straight about it, it is alienating the player base that don't pull for these units in a fucking Gacha game, right? Let's talk about Canderella, right? Canderella has a swimming thing, which...
he brought up Cantarella and his like her swimming problem. Yes, Cantarella's case is definitely, in a way, in its most base sense, the same as Castorice, because it's like a gateway to putting traveling, like, you know, traversal, like quality of life improvement, traversal improvement locked behind characters, right? But like, do you know what else, what other game is like locking traversal options like behind characters? Can you guess, Lunaria? I'm thinking of a game that starts with like G and ends with Engine Impact. It's like, I'm pretty sure, like, in order to get a motorbike, or in order to be able to fly with La Broom, you gotta have a character. Or in order to be able to like swing around like Tarzan, like, I'm pretty sure you have to have a certain character that does that, right? Like, I don't know why he doesn't bring that game up over Wuthering Wave. Because like Wuthering Wave, like swimming is it can be a bad example right now. But like, remember when like Cantarella came out at like what, 2.2? 2.2, right? Cantarella comes in 2.2. they already have like a better way to go around the water, like traveling in the water since 2.0, 2 patches ago, like 80 days ago, right? They already have better ways to explore the waters and like the area in general, which is flying and gondola. And those are free, right? Now the only problem would be if the next area, like the next whatever area it is they're releasing in 3.0, right, is going to be an area that is full of water, and then you cannot fly, or you don't have any solution that is similar to flying in that area. Like no gondola, no flying, now Cantarella is suddenly like in the spotlight because she can swim faster than everyone. And now she's a must-have because this new area is like a water park, for example. And you have to swim around a lot. The problem right now is that like for Cantarella, right now, she came out late. If you think about it, right? It's like imagine Firefly, like a Super Break character being released after Super Break, after Super Break dies as a meta, right? You can still use it, but there's already there's like, she's like outdated already. She expired already, bro. And like the swimming is not even faster than like the freaking like gondola, and even flying, right? And those are free. Remember, we've been flying and going through gondolas since 2.0, which is like 80 days ago, 84 days ago. And I feel like that's like the false equivalency, it's not the equal ground that he thinks it is. Like, am I wrong? Like, if you think about it, like global passive is the first of its kind, and there is no other alternative to it other than cat. Like this is the only one of its kind. But Cantarella's swimming skill, it's an extra option, basically. Yeah, if you specifically want to enjoy your character, seeing your character wet, then use Cantarella and like go swimming with her. I heard like they added like the wet effect, right? Like I heard she looks hotter when like she's wet. There you go. Maybe that's a power creep that people are looking for, the power creep of sexiness.
I think we've also talked about it. It doesn't fucking matter because it's swim, right? Nobody really swims in water waves. They fly and everything. So it doesn't really represent anything that much because it's not that big of a deal, right? But doesn't that also set a precedent for more potential limiting quality of life features in water waves? A lot behind.
Yes, it sets a precedence. But again, it's not one of its kind. If you want to talk about precedents, like what about fucking Genshin Impact that already have like 5 characters with different skills of like traveling the fucking map? Like Silonen with like the freaking skates, like Mavuika with the motorbike, and then like Kachina with like the freaking like bomb car, like the go-kart, and then like Kinich with like the freaking Spider-Man swings. And then like even like someone like who's that girl again? That cowboy girl that can fly with a broom? Because I have her too. Like keep in mind, I have her. And that's what make the game worse, because because like now the map is designed with the assumption that you have all of these characters, and if you don't, you'll have to use those shitty like freaking birds and like freaking animals, which they're cute and all, but using them sucks. And also, if you think about it, like swimming option, extra swimming option, like that is slightly faster. It's not even combat affecting. Global passive affects whether you win the game or not, if you think about it, right? Swimming does not. Now he's right in a base sense. Keep in mind, I'm saying that he's right in the base sense that both both things sets precedence, but one of them sets precedence where it affects whether you win the battles or not. The other one sets a precedence that your traversal is gonna be less awful if you have this character, but also it's optional because you also get to fly and ride a gondola, maybe a skateboard next time, you know. Remember Warframe? If you guys never played Warframe, you have something called Arcwing, which allows you to fly in the open world maps. And then when they added a second map in the game, they added skateboards, like hoverboards. Now you can you can argue that like, oh, there's a characters that can fly without the arc wings, but like, I mean, the arc wings is also there, and also the skateboard. You know, there's characters that can that can like explore the world faster, like characters that like the Flash that can run fast, but like, you know, it's one alternative compared to like global passive, which is now affects whether you win the game or not. Maybe it's not now, maybe later. It's a two different precedents. It's a two different size. Again, it's like stealing a vegetable and stealing a freaking iPhone. It's a different level of problem. It's still both stealing. It's just a different level.
Limited 5-star. Who would to say that there wouldn't be more quality of life in Warding Waves? Canada is just the beginning, right? Just how Castorice is just the beginning. So why are we setting this precedent that if you want to pull for Castorice, you're basically supporting this predatory practice? Why are
Because you are. Because Castorice can make the game pay to win. You know why the reason Genshin does not receive as much like problem? It's because like the traversal is awful, but it doesn't affect. It affects gameplay, but it doesn't affect whether you win the battle or not. Okay. Castorice specifically is much worse because it affects whether you win the battles, which is the entire point of playing the fucking game, is to win battles and listen to the story. You can't even progress through the game if you don't win some of the battles. Like I have a friend that was stuck on like the Firefly fight, like Sam fight in Penacony, and she couldn't progress the story at all until she beat it. So yes, winning is a requirement here. And locking winning behind like global passives in the future is not a good thing.
Are we not boycotting Canberra so that it signals to us?
Like at this point, I would take like Genshin's like bad traversal anytime over like having the global passive. Not gonna lie.
That we do not encourage this quality of life upgrades locked behind limited 5-star. Why is it hypocritical to pull for Castorice but not for Canterella?
Again, both are gameplay affecting. One is affecting your traversal experience. The other one is affecting whether you can progress through the fucking game or not.
And sure, you can fly, right? But it's not guaranteed that you can fly in every single region. If we can,
it isn't. Yeah, you're not wrong.
Hypothetically doom post over a possible future passive, a future global passive. Surely we can.
Well, the reason we're doom posting because global passive is the first of its kind. It's the very first one. Like again, there's no other alternative. There's no flying version, like flying alternative version of global passive or like gondola alternative of global passive, which Cantarella do have for her swimming skills. So yeah.
Also doom post how flying might just be locked in our version 2 region.
People don't post that, you know. That's why people keep requesting flying to be available in every region, every single fucking survey, because they're scared that it might happen, that like flying will be locked in like Rinascita. And I personally think that they might lock that until the story ends in Rinascita, because I think like if I'm not wrong, the wings are like an echo, and like echoes currently cannot like go too far from like the Raguna's like Rinascita's nexus basically. So in a way they're using lore as like a reasoning right now. So hopefully when they finish the story they release it, and if they don't release it on every area, I'm definitely gonna be like complaining a lot about it. Definitely. Because like flying has already changed my life so much. Every time I go back to the old area, I'm like, bro, I forgot I cannot fly. Like for real. Would I stop playing the game if flying ever ended up like being locked specifically on Rinasita? Possibly, right? Because we have to see whether the new area has like something else or not. Maybe in the new area, for example, we can ride a motorbike anywhere. Or maybe in the new area, you know, you get vehicles, or like you can like I don't know. I cannot think of anything right now. It's super late right now. I need to finish the video quickly.
That we can't fly in version 3, right? Or what's gonna, are we gonna have more and more paid win exploration units that will be locked behind limited 5 stars? Is this not also just as bad, if not worse, than global passive? And aside from Canberra, right, aside from the quality of life, what about the blatant quality of life upgrades in the units, specifically the dupes? Isn't intentionally locking interrupt resist? Because I believe that you guys have played Warring Waves in.
Why does he have like, again, like, see how like he locks into like Wuthering Waves? I guess this is kind of implied already that he was talking about Gacha Turbolism right earlier, and like how like it's my turn now. Basically, that's what he said earlier, right? And that's why I think like he keep bringing up like Wuthering Waves. And by the way, quality of life locked behind a constellation, I think is already expected in like a game like a gacha game, any gacha games. So you cannot make that comparison. That's like the inherent system when it came out. That's exactly the reason why people hate gacha games. My dude, you cannot compare it because it already happened a long time ago. Like if you want to it's like complaining about the horse armor in Skyrim, which is like the first thing that started about like the whole DLC system and everything, the microtransaction, right? Like sure, you can complain about it. At the same time, you cannot change anything. It already happened so long ago. If you want to change it, you should have changed your action way back then. Oh, hi Ken. Hello, welcome to my reaction. How are you there? I'm doing great. I'm a bit tired though, so I really want to finish this reaction though, like on the video. Hope your day is going well. My day is pretty nice. Work was pretty fine for me, so I'm just hoping to finish this video so I can actually sleep. I was going to play Monster Hunter, but like this video came out, like the whole debacle came out, and I was like, this is so spicy. I gotta react and like give my words into it, especially like with the way he defended like his opinion, like MrPokke here. It's so bad. It's so bad that like I couldn't hold myself back from like reacting to it. So yeah, let's continue.
Interrupt resist is a pretty important thing because when the enemies hit you, it completely resets your attack animation. There has been a lot of units that has interrupt resist in their resonance chain 1, right? Making your basic combo or skill a lot easier to, you know?
Yeah. I think a lot of those characters are like the characters that have like channeling attacks. Like for example, like Chang-Li when doing like her heavy attack. And I think Rochia, I believe, have like constellation for like interrupt resist too. But again, interrupt resist is not as like, you know, interrupt resist affect your winning chance, but it does not make or break your attack, your battle, because the whole point of playing the game is to not get hit. That's exactly why you quick swap your ass when you do those attacks.
Interrupt, and now that you get this resonance chain, you don't have it. You have a quality.
Yours. Wouldn't people try their best to not get hit at all? I mean, you could make the same argument as like global passive, like reviving, right? The whole point is like to not die, right, on the game. So you would, you know. At the same time, Constellation has been a thing since the dawn age of like freaking FGO or something. Like I don't know which gacha game is the oldest. But like I feel like if you're complaining about Constellation now, it's already too late. The game, you know, gacha games have been doing this for a long time. But global passive, that's a new thing. That's a thing that we can still stop. This is a disaster that we can still stop, MrPokke. That's the difference. The difference is that Constellation is already a disaster that already happened. It's too late to stop it. If a company is willing to change it for the better, then good for them. I fully supported them. But global passive is a disaster that we can still stop.
of life upgrade. Isn't that also a predatory practice? Because you lock behind such a good cruel behind unit that pretty much doesn't feel good to play. Why should I be spending what 200-300 USD just to make a unit that I play?
Look at this chat right here.
Lock behind such a good cruel behind unit that pretty much doesn't feel good to play.
Where is it?
Why?
Wait, what?
Why should I be spending
that interrupt fucks in narration? Sure.
What?
But like here, that isn't the same. Don't get hit. Yeah. I think MrPokke forgets that you can dodge in Wuthering Wave and not in Honkai Star Rail. I think. I think he forgets about that.
300 USD just to make a unit that I play feel good, right? I'm talking about like Changli, Camellia, Rosia, even to a certain extent Canterbury. So why are we enabling cruel games for these predatory practices since both recent and upcoming units have all of these inter-resists in their first?
Because there's another alternative to it, right? Again, not getting hit is an alternative to like interrupt resistance. If you're gonna get hit, it would be better to have the resistance. But also, you can also just not get hit. You cannot escape global passive, right? It's either have or have it. Either you have it or not. And in order to have it, you gotta have the character. Every single time, for every single global passive that comes out now and forever, moving forward.
First dupe. If you say you don't need the dupes to beat endgame, right? You have skill issue. Why the fuck do you need Castorice to beat the endgame then? Do you level your tracers? Do you spend your 2,400 user stamina? Do you actually build a proper team? Do you just pull for every single fucking DPS and just don't care shit about?
No, you may not. Believe it or not, farming a relic, farming artifact, or farming echoes, regardless of the game, sucks. And sometimes you're just that unlucky, and 2,400 stamina ain't gonna do shit. What you need to build a perfect team, a good team, is luck. Okay? You need luck. And also, again, MrPokke. Global passive means you don't even need to have the character in the party. All this constellation talk about interruption resist, you still need to have the character in the party. You do know that, right? Like everyone else, they don't even need to be in the party. Like if I have a Castorice, I don't even need to have Castorice in the party. I still get the buff. That's the problem. That's everyone's problem. If Castorice does this thing only when she's in the party, which is like someone like Bailu and like Fu Xuan does, it would have been fine. No one would care. No one would fucking care. But the problem is that she can do it even without being in the party. And that's the problem.
Or team building. Because free to play since day one can still play content ages. So what's the problem here? You know? And the real question isn't really...
Yes? How many of them can play the content without pulling for the latest character? I'm just asking. How many of them can play the game without throwing for the latest character, the latest light cone, and have the latest like relic set? I'm gonna say like less than 1%, probably. Maybe 1%. Like all the YouTube content you see, those are people that sweats the hell out of their time, spends so much time and stamina perfecting their relic, their echoes, like their builds and everything like that. So their character, even though like their character is 4-star, they can still max it out. Like they can still like perfect like their gameplay. Like most people are not gonna be able to do that. If they can even do that, you know, assuming their luck.
Is it hypocritical to pull Canterella? Is that why is it not hypocritical to pull dupes, to pull quality of life? Why are we enabling cruel games, these predatory practices? Are y'all being cruel bots?
I'm so tired of repeating my points. Because like he keep repeating his points, so I have to keep repeating mine too, I feel like. But again, when you pull for Cantarella, when you pull for Castorice, and when you pull for Cantarella, when you pull for dupes, you still have to have the character in the party to actually use them. Which means that it's setting a precedence that moving forward, when you have OP character, you still have to use them. But now with but Castorice is a different case, because like now one day they're gonna have a character that is OP without even putting them in a party. And now suddenly, because they're OP without even putting them in a party, everyone feels compelled to pull them, regardless whether they like it or not. Why? Because the benefit is there even if they don't like them and they don't put them in the party.
You know, the entire thing of using more rarity, global passive, as a facade, as a mask, to hide, pretty much in my opinion, the most blatant display of Gacha tribalism I've ever.
Dude, let me tell you right now, if this is something that Kuro Games came out with, everyone's gonna do the same exact fucking thing. If this is something that like Amazing Season and Snowbreak came out with, it's gonna do the same exact thing. Any gacha game that does it, if this is Arknight Enfield that comes out with it, they're gonna do the exact same thing. As long as they're doing it the same exact way what Hoyo is doing it right now. Now, it's different if they're announcing global passive update where everyone gets a global passive now. Moving forward, every character will have global passive. That's a different thing, okay? And if that's something that Hoyo did, then sure. You know, you could argue about it, but like it's in a way, it sounds much more fair that way if it came out like that. But like right now, one of the worst company in terms of listening to the player, and one of the company that is like basically fumbling so much, maybe because due to its size, but like, you know, doesn't change the fact that they're fumbling a lot and they're not trying to do something like this. So, you know, I'm just saying.
Ever seen. And no one talks about it because the creators that don't make volume waves, they either don't care, they don't have enough influence, or they just don't give a fuck about involving themselves in this stupid ass fucking drama. If we're gonna be going down this path, then okay, at this point I'm all in, right? Be for fucking real, we are basically gacha players. We are gacha players, and every single broken unit, broken dupe, broken light cone items, whatever the fuck it is gonna be, is not skip this because it's predatory. Skip this because it's so good. It breaks the game. It's game breaking. This changes everything. You must pull for this. You must pull for this unit because it's so good. I honestly couldn't give a single fuck what unit in Wuthering Waves or Genshin Impact or any fucking gacha game comes out, even if it's predatory or if it's broken or if it's weak, because as long as I'm enjoying the game that I'm playing.
Yeah. Let's see how much you're gonna enjoy the game without pulling all those characters. I've proved it already. I tried to beat the last MOC with Nicador without using all characters from before 2.5. So the newest character that I have in there is basically Jiao Chu and Fei Xiao. Do you know how many cycles it took me? It took me 10 cycles to beat like fucking Nicador. Like on both sides. My Acheron is E6. Let me remind you. My Acheron is E6. My Sparkle is E2. My Fushuan is E1. Aventurine is E0. It took me 5 cycles to beat like Nicador. Okay. And if you think like, oh, you're still clear, I'm 1 cycle away from failing the last MOC. All because my characters are not characters in the recent patch. It's all because my characters all from characters are characters that are from before 2.5. Okay. Think about it for a second, right? E6 Acheron, E2 Sparkle, E1 Fushuan, and then like E0 Jiao Chu. But like everyone has S1, so everyone except Fushuan has their own light cones. And then the other side of the team, the other side was like Fei Xiao, Dr. Ratio, and A Xiao is E2 by the way. Fei Xiao is E2, Aventurine is E0, Dr. Ratio is I forgot. I think it's E0, And I have Robin. Robin is basically, I think, E1. You think about it. My Robin is maxed out, by the way. Like, she has like 5,000 attack. So her bonus damage is like a ton. And like my facial and my doctor ratio is decently built. I'd say, like, you know, I wouldn't say it's like the top 10%, like, but I'd say it's very decent and like very usable. My Aventurin is properly built. I would like to think it's properly built. Probably not like not super optimal, but like properly built. High defense, like good traces level, all of that stuff. Same thing with like Spark. Like the Sparkle Acheron team honestly is like the better team, like the highest level team, and it still performed the same. Why? Because it's like the character from the older patch, and like back then when the MOC for Nicodor happens, it was like Acheron wasn't even a years old, and Fei Xiao was like even like less than 6 months old, probably. I'd say. Because like I think like Fei Xiao is 2.5, right? And then there's like 2.6, 2.7, and then we got 3.0. And I think the MOC is around 3.0, right? So that's like around what? Like 4 months? 5 months? So yeah. You cannot even enjoy the game anymore when the power creep like sets in. It's like is endgame not supposed to be part of like the game that you get to enjoy? Or like, oh, since it's endgame, it's fine. Like, you know, you're not meant, like, not everyone is meant to complete it, so it's fine. You know. If you don't enjoy that part, that's fine. That's like an exclusion. That's a, you know, that's like a, that is not something that you should be complaining about, because not everyone is designed to enjoy, like, to beat it. What do you mean? Everyone is designed to beat it, assuming you pull the characters. Like the moment like the only reason I have the Herta like during this patch, like the only reason I didn't get it, like I didn't use her, was because like I just got her literally, and I didn't have her built. So I was trying to like do the MOC without any new character, like any new recent characters, and like I still got fucked in the ass. Like I was one cycle away from failing basically, because like the moment you reach 11 like the 11th cycle, right, the MOC is 2 stars, and like once you get 2 stars, it doesn't matter because you don't get the rewards if it's not 3 stars. So it's either 3 stars or like you might as well make it 3 star or lose. So yeah,
that's good enough for me. Every single one of these gacha games.
And also, even considering all that, you can still pull if you want to, right? People are gonna call you, hey, you're you're killing this game and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm killing this game in the long run, but I'm gonna enjoy it while it lasts. That's it. Move on. Problem solved.
To a certain extent, it's just a casino with a different skin. I have the rights to point out the flaws in the game. I understand and enjoy. It doesn't mean that me pulling and enjoying the unit is the equivalent of me supporting a predatory practice. My boy.
It is. If you go to a casino and then you play there, and then you tell your friend about how much you have fun with it, have fun in the casino, you're indirectly like recommending them to go to the casino, because like, oh, I'm having so much fun here. You should join me on the next time too. Maybe you don't say it outright, but what else, you know? Sharing your happiness in a way is indirectly a promotion for the casino, right? And again, the problem is that like you're a content creator, MrPokke. What you say matter, like have more influence than like us regular players. And like the problem is that you're doing this after basically saying the casino is bad, casino is predatory, and then you shared your photos of playing a game of poker in a casino. That's basically what this is about. Like that's the problem, right? And instead of like saying that, hey, yeah, casino is bad, but I like playing poker anyway, so I'm gonna keep doing it. Instead of saying that, you chose to be like, you don't understand. And that's why the problem like keeps going and going.
Online time is don't pretend that you have any moral.
I don't know why I even like
it's
this.
a fucking gacha game. If you want more redemption, go to a fucking church, right? So I'm sorry for being quite pissed off, because it's infuriating, because no one in the call, no one in the chat gives a flying fuck about Hongai Stario, right? Or what Castorice does, or what the team building is, or what she represents in the story, because no one there plays HSR.
What do you mean? Like, again, you can argue that that is right, that they don't care enough. But you can also argue that, like, if someone is like, I've said this earlier, but like I can argue that, like, if someone doesn't care enough about the state of the game, I'm just gonna pull for the characters. That's what I did. I said last time, right? Like, I don't care if I don't care. Like, I don't care enough if the game survive or not. I'm just gonna pull the Castorice on my HSR account, and if the game dies on, like, like, quote unquote dies, right? As it, like, gets super harder because of, like, the power creep that's gonna keep going up, then, like, eventually the game will lose player, and if the game lose player, the game dies, and then you're gonna lose something that you enjoy, like that you people enjoy, right? And I couldn't care less, because I came in with the mindset that I don't care. So not caring can comes in two different perspectives, MrPokke. It's not all one direction like that. We're not a boy band here.
HSR could literally release the most fucking broken, most disgusting global passive in the world, or a most useless unit. This unit is like the most dog shit, and no one would give two fucks. Why?
They would. They're a content creator. They'll make a content about it. It's not gonna be a long content. They're probably gonna make it like a talking material in a compilation of video, maybe. Because, like, someone will definitely bring it up to them. They're like, hey, Honkai Star Rail is releasing a new character. You should check it out. So they'll come back to it. And also, in a way, when you complain, when you get mad at someone, right, it's because usually you care deep down. That's literally the reason why your parents get mad at you, because they care. And, like, the biggest problem is that when your parents started ignoring you, that's when you realize that suddenly, like, you're losing the feeling of love now. So I think him saying that everyone else does not care is kind of doesn't make sense, because, like, the exact reason why they're telling you to not do it, like to do the morally right thing, like to tell you the morally right thing, is because they care. It's the exact opposite. Now, you can say they have no stake on it, because if the game dies, they still have other gacha games to play, but they do care. That's why they tell you to do the morally right thing. That's why they tell you, like, the options.
Because they don't care. So why are we pretending that we care about these units? It's very, very annoying, because Castorice's entire unit right now is basically being boiled down to, if you pull for her, especially as a content creator that don't support global passive, you are a hypocrite. And why would you want to watch someone that does this? And this clip, in my opinion, is the one that honestly triggered me quite a bit. All right, so this is going to be a clip right here.
You're a hypocrite, yes. Why? Because if you said global passive is bad and you bite it, then you're supporting the global passive in itself. You're supporting the thing that you called bad. And why do you watch this? People can watch it for more than just, like, listening to your opinion. Some people just want to have, like, a white noise when they're, like, when they're playing their games, like I do. I have, like, Asmon's, like, Tectone stream and, like, Sandon stream a lot, and I rarely talk in their stream, if at all, but I have them as white noise, and I technically I'm their viewer now because I watch them when they go live. I can have more reason than listening to someone's take, and, like, I don't have to listen to you to be precisely to enjoy your content.
I think it's coming out of a place of ignorance, but if you are saying Castor's global passive is horrible, it is predatory, it's so bad for the game, oh, but I pulled it anyways, guys, it's like, who are you? Why? And I want anybody in chat, I want anybody in the call, why would you watch someone like that?
Maybe because they're funny, It's like watching someone with a different political opinion than you. You could argue that, like, oh, why are you watching that person? Maybe that person is comedian, right? Maybe they're funny. You don't always have to watch someone because of a specific stuff. Like, I think he explained, like, Tecton explained it poorly, because I think, like, people can watch other people for different reason. Like, you can be the worst liar in the world, like, you can be the most, like, the shillest person in the world, the best show possible for any kind of game or like any kind of companies, and like, maybe I can watch you just purely for the fun of it, right? I don't even need a reason to watch you, or any of, like, anyone for that matter, right? I think, like, this is a one perspective that a person can take, but it doesn't have to be the only perspective that someone can have on others.
I'm genuinely, what is the appeal to know that, oh, this guy really doesn't like this thing, but he's still going to do it anyways, even though he said it's really bad, and he's still going to show that content to his audience? What's the point? You are losing so much PR.
All right. So essentially, why would someone watch me? Why should I even have a viewership? Because I'm somebody that put for Castorice while not liking Global Passive at the same time, right? And at this point, it's like my very character of who I am, not just as a content creator or player, but literally, like, as a person, right, is quite literally being threatened by.
You're taking it too personally, sir. I think he's just taking it too literally, like, too personally. Because if you just look at it, like, I think he's being too emotional here, because, like, if you took it in a logical perspective, you can kind of see what I'm saying earlier, right? Is that, like, I don't have to watch you for your takes. I can just watch you because you're funny. I can watch you just because I want to have some noise in my freaking, like, life while I'm playing, like, when I'm doing other things and playing games. And also, you can just own up to it, right? Yes, I'm a hypocrite. I just love this game that much. That's it. That's it. Most people wouldn't bat an eye on that. A meme or two out there, but most people wouldn't care that long.
These narratives, because I'm being viewed as a hypocrite, or I'm shilling for a company because I put for a unit in the game that I enjoy.
Because you are. The action is hypocritical. But the reason people are hating on you is because you're trying to say it is not hypocritical, even though the action is hypocritical. You can solve the problem by owning up to it.
And since, in the words of Tecton, I should put my moral compass above the enjoyment I have in my gacha games, and whether I like it or not, that's just something that I have to do in order to prove my moral superiority.
Yes. In order to prove your moral superiority, you have to do that specific thing. The thing is, you don't have to prove anything.
Don't do that. I just have to be okay. Yep, I'm a hypocrite. I'm hypocritical for putting this unit while not supporting Global Passive, right? So whether I like it or not, I do still share a pretty significant audience impact. And what he says, it will impact the community's opinion about me. Basically,
it will.
For lack of better words, he basically caused this damage to my reputation, especially if I pull for Castorice, because he believes in a narrative that if I pull Castorice, I am no longer a guy that likes playing HSR.
No, you are a guy that likes playing HSR. I don't think that's what he said. Well, I think he's looking at it the long term, right? Because, like, you're destroying HSR, you're slowly destroying HSR in a way. You love HSR so much that you're willing to let it die. That's basically what's happening in here. It's like one of those problems, like, if no one can have you, if no one can have you, no, like, if I cannot have you, no one can situation, right? Where, like, you love something so much you're willing to kill it because you cannot have it. I think, like, it's in a way, it's in the same sense. It's like in the same, like, it's treading the same line. I know it's like not 1-to-1, but I feel like it's the same sentiment.
I am a guy that supported this predatory practice by pulling for her, right? I am a guy that's a hypocrite for saying I don't like Global Passive, but I still pull for it anyways. He didn't force me to pull or to skip Castorice, but he's basically saying that if I were to pull for this unit, I don't deserve people watching me, because why would anyone watch someone like this?
He'll stop watching you for your HSR opinion. Maybe he'll keep watching you because you're his friend. maybe he'll keep watching you because he needs some noises in his background, right? But he'll like if he's trying to look for an HSR opinion, like if you do that and like he's trying to look for like an HSR opinion, he probably won't come to you after that, because like you're clearly someone that like is willing to act differently than what you said. You're a do as I say, not as I do kind of guy.
This right. So why the fuck?
I think that's a good example, right? Do as I say, not as I do. I think Linus Tech Tips talked about that a lot, like in this video, which is like he's a tech YouTuber. You can say he's a hypocrite, right? But he owns up to it. He was like, "Yeah, I'm a hypocrite. Sue me." You know, I just don't like, you know, sometimes like safety is like bullshit. Sometimes I just want to get things done faster, and sometimes I want to be jankier. You know, sometimes I want to make the video funnier, and like he owns up to it, so like it's fine. And like when things there are some things that he will not do, and he will definitely tell people not to do it, and he won't do it himself. Like there are some lines that can and have to be drawn. It's just this one isn't one of it, because this is a gacha game. This is a game.
Fuck. Would I be okay with that? Right? So this also sort of reminds me when it comes to like hypocrisy, right? Because we're talking about quite a bit of hypocrisy. I want to bring this point right here. Didn't Tectone pull for Arlecchino? Didn't Tectone pull for Arlecchino?
See, I'm still nice. Che, I'm still nice. Che, how nice? Look at how nice I am right now. I'm being so nice right now. What the fuck am I looking at, you piece of shit?
Can mods mute sound alerts, please? Someone help me mute sound alerts. I already muted this. I don't know why they're still doing it. Right? Okay, yeah, but essentially, didn't Tectone pull for Arlecchino when he basically shitted the entirety of version 4.6? So let's just take a look at this movie, alright?
He shit at the story though, right?
With some of the best story I've ever done in Genshin Impact, and still.
And he doesn't even shit in the story because the story is shit. He's shitting in the story because the story does not show the main character of the story, which is Arlecchino. I'm pretty sure, like, I remember this complaint is that like where he was like, why is the story quest about Arlecchino does not show Arlecchino at all until the end? That's his complaint. His complaint is that like there's no main story quest. All we got for this like filler patch is that one one character quest, and the character was not even there during the quest until the end. That was his complaint.
45% of that quest sucked ass, but it had good moments. I still don't know how people defend this shit.
Yeah, he was still somewhat mixed about it. He doesn't like people glazing about it, but he's not saying it's the worst, right? Because he's still saying like it has some good moments in it.
I don't know how people don't talk about this shit. I don't. And then you got to catch them on the live stream at fucking 4 a.m. actually speaking their real mind. It is insane. It is genuinely insane how people defend this shit. The amount of disappointment I feel for this game and its community, and more specifically, the vocal minority that are so fucking miserable that they go and they bitch and moan on every single post with baseless accusations. It is wild. Fuck 4.6. I'm good. It's a fucking trash update. And it pisses
me the
fuck off.
And it was a trash update because of that. Because like there's only one story, one character quest, and like that character quest does not even have the character. And I agree. When I saw that clip and like hearing what he said back then, I was like, yeah, it makes sense. If I have a story quest, like imagine this, like let's compare it to like Honkai Star Rail, or like comparing it to something like Wuwa, right? If I have a story quest that is supposed to involve Firefly and then Firefly does not show up until the end, what do you guys think would happen? Or if I have a story quest that involves like, let's say like Cantarella, like during we got like another character quest like right now, right? Like for Cantarella, imagine if Cantarella does not show up until the end and then talks one or two line and then shows up like basically actually of like 1 hour quest, she show up in the last 5 minutes. Why do you even call it Cantarella's story quest then? Like at that point. And same thing with the Firefly, right? Like imagine like if the Penacony main story is basically like Firefly's story quest, right? And then like Firefly show up towards the end and then get stabbed. And then dies. And then suddenly they tease, hey, character quest part 2. And we're like, bro, what the fuck?
off because I wanted to see 6 Arlecchino. I genuinely did.
He said want to. He was going to, but now I guess he
genuinely I did. But I can't deal with the Genshin retards again. I just can't. And the worst thing is, I don't think these people realize how much benefit I could bring to their game because I can. I'm the only.
Okay, but essentially, basically, to summarize everything, he was gonna skip Arlecchino. He was gonna C6 Arlecchino initially, and then he decided, okay, you know what? I'm not gonna C6 anymore because the story, the writing for everything, it's dog shit, right? He criticized the story of 4.6. It was so fucking bad. The Arlecchino companion quest, it spoiled everything, right? In his own words, like I just said, he wanted to C6, but because the writing was so bad, he just logged off. So what happened to not just C0, not just C0 as well? So what happened to still C6ing Arlecchino towards the end?
Okay, so let's prove that. Okay, Tectone pulled Arlecchino. Okay, I cave. I pulled for Arlecchino. Okay,
we will only get one. That's it. That's all we need. We'll just.
Okay. 10 seconds in, he's already lying, MrPokke.
Just get one copy, and then we won't summon anymore. I farmed up like 130 pulls. We'll just get her. We'll get our one copy, bada bing, bada boom, and then we're done.
Okay, here. This is where he gets right?
Hey, boy. Yep, easy. Free Arlecchino. That's all we need, baby. Boom! Yes, sir! Welcome, bitch.
All right.
I know. I prepared for. Press the button. Yep. Next. Dude, thank God they added the auto add button, bro.
And look at this. I think she's pulling her. He's pulling for her weapon. He's pulling for her weapon, right? And then he get the weapon.
What can I say? 4% damage bonus. Oh my God. I'll just max this real quick. Red death, that's really good.
And you guys can see it's all locked. MrPokke does not even like fact check or like remember right, because it's all locked. He didn't C6 it.
Are now already blood debt due when first applied. When Arlecchino absorbs it to do.
No, this is 11 months ago. But you know, who knows if it's still the case right now? All I know is that in this video he only pulled for one.
In any case, I could ignore the people and haters that just don't watch me. I can ignore Tectone, Shinya, and the community's opinion against me because let's just be real. Technically, they don't play HSR, right? We don't really have anything in common that much at this point anymore. We're just doing our own things. But why should I, as a content creator, accept this narrative that's being painted by all these people? Is like saying that I still consider them my friends, by the way. Is like
I still consider them as friends, by the way. But why should I care about their opinion? They're my friends, by the way. But why should I care? Why should I care about my friend's opinion? That's insane. That's kind of insane. Even saying that, I feel so weird.
Again. So no, I would not be pulling for Castorice. Not because I want to prove that I'm standing against a predatory practice, right? Or that I'm hoping for a change in Honkai Star Rail, or that I got bullied into not pulling, or that I'm standing on my morals and being like morally justified, or what fucking narrative is being pushed around this. I'm skipping Castorice. The main reason is to show how absolutely fucking insignificant this has on everything that the people are saying right now, right? I'm skipping Castorice to essentially, you know, let's just be real, I'm probably...
So you're just being petty.
It's going to be a little bit unfortunate. I probably won't enjoy not having Castorice on my own account, or my main account, right? But this is so that more people can open their eyes and see this, I don't know, like a fucking clown fiesta of a narrative that's being pushed out right now, right? Castorice, at the end of the day, is a 2D unit in a gacha game.
It is. At the grand scheme of things, she's just part of the game. She's also a symbol of like what could happen to your future games, right? That's what the horse armor in the Skyrim does. Like not Skyrim, Oblivion does, right? It's just a horse armor. Why are people so mad about it? And then people took the L back then. Guess what happened now, bro? Ultimate Edition, Premium Edition, Deluxe Edition, Ultimate Deluxe Edition. Now we have like all kinds of DLC. Now we have DLCs for fucking in-game currency. Thank you, Capcom, for introducing that. Now we have like cosmetic DLC. Where like if you want to change your pace, you gotta pay us $3. Monster Hunter Wild is the proof right there. The edit voucher. All because of fucking horse armor back in 2009 or 10 or something. I don't know. When is Oblivion is release? I want to see.
It's gonna be a little bit.
Yes, for Oblivion. 2006. All because of the DLC from 2006 started everything.
Fortunate, I probably won't enjoy not having catches on my own account or my main account.
Just a game, by the way.
All right, but this is so that more people can open their eyes and see this. I don't know, like a fucking clown fiesta of a narrative is being pushed out right now. Right? Castorice, at the end of the day, is a 2D unit in a gacha game. Nothing more, nothing less. Which brings me to what Castorice, or the lack thereof, what this has an impact, right? The impact it will have on my account in HSR. And honestly, whether my own account has or does not have Castorice, it will have zero impact on my morality, right? My character, as well as my content. Because even if I don't support global passive, and this applies to pretty much everyone in the amounts playing gacha games, by the way, creator, player, your friends, it doesn't matter because I will still make content with whatever means I see fit. As long as it brings, value, you guys have to watch it.
I mean, yeah, you can still make content without Castorice. Duh.
EP, thumbs up, subscribe, heart shape, oils, very, very good.
Like, I can make content without even playing fucking Honkai Star Rail by, like, watching you right now. You can make content out of thin air if you want to. Some people are making a content by, like, fucking, like, recording their cat.
That's good enough for me. But to them, me playing Castorice is not the big difference. It's not a big deal, right? The big deal is I actually poop for Castorice on my account, right? In the words of like Shinya and Decton, there's literally a creator experience server, right? So why must anyone pull for Castorice? So this point, he was basically specifically referring to Brexvon as well as myself, right? Because we basically can play for Castorice in the creator server. So why are we even pulling for this?
The funniest part to me is like these creators, they also get accounts to play on for early access. They can still review the characters. They can still make guides for the characters. Why the fuck are they still pulling them on their main accounts? Make the guides. Do whatever the fuck you want. But the fact is that you're going to pull it on your main account after you've been given access.
It's the same as like having opinion on your private account and having opinion on like work account, right? In work, you have a certain regulation that you have to follow and stuff like that. But like once it's in your personal account, that kind of says about like your own personal values and opinion, right? Once you're doing it in your own account, it reflects your own value. That's the difference that they're trying to like point out here.
To these accounts to look at the characters early, that makes no fucking sense to me. It's so hypocritical.
It makes no sense.
Yeah, okay, so that's pretty much it. So essentially, as long as I myself, right, I don't pull Castorice on my own main account, it would make me doing the moral right thing after I caught out global passive. I am now morally right because I'm not spending money or premium currency for Castorice, right? I'm now morally right for not spending money on Honkai Star Rail. Doesn't this sound familiar? Should I be the only motherfucker getting praised for not putting Castorice and I'm standing up against HSR's predatory practice? Should I praise all the creators that basically quit Honkai Star Rail and skip Castorice because now they're the morally superior creators? I wanted to pull Castorice because I want to play my fucking gacha game with a new gacha unit. I wanted to pull Castorice because...
Yeah, just do it. They're gonna call you a hypocrite, but you can still do it.
I love playing with every single new unit that comes to HSR, right? We use them in different teams, different end games, and see how they perform as weeks and months go by, right? I wanted to pull Castorice because she summons a goddamn dragon, and is pretty much the literal MC. The MC of version 3's entire story. So if, for example, if wizardry, right? If wizardry can make you feel you're having fun, you're enjoying the game, and you only play wizardry for yourself and no one else, then why the fuck can't I play HSR and pull for Castorice? At no point have I ever thought...
No one is telling you you cannot. It's just if you do, you're going to face some backlash, of which you can deal by owning up to it. That's it. It's like saying that, like, hey, if you want to be super healthy, eat vegetable. Now you can still eat meat if you want to, for your guilty pleasure and stuff like that. But the right answer to stay healthy would be to still eat vegetables. it does not change the reality of things. And like if you eat meat all the time, people are gonna talk shit about you. Maybe like you eventually get fat and stuff like that. But like, hey, if it makes you happy, it makes you happy, man. But like if you're asking people, hey, how do I do good diets and stuff like that, the answer is still gonna be the same. You gotta eat your fucking vegetables and stop eating so much meat.
How can I support this predatory practice? Oh wait, let me support this predatory practice by pulling Castorice now, so that I can support this very very bad thing because I'm such a hypocrite. Nah, man. Me skipping Castorice doesn't make me morally just, or it doesn't make me a better person.
It does, in a way. It doesn't make you suddenly an angel, but it's kind of like proving a point to the company. It's like doing a protest, right? You know, doing a protest does not suddenly like absolve you of all your like criminal records, but like sometimes like protests are done for a good cause.
Or it shows that I'm not a hypocrite. So don't think that me skipping Castorice is trying to prove any of these, right? Don't think that me skipping Castorice, right, is like I'm trying to score a W. I'm trying to score a W in the community. You know, I've seen that.
But you are. That's why you're doing it. You're trying to make it seem like you're doing the right thing by not doing it. And then you're bragging it to people. Oh, I'm doing it not because they told me to, but because I'm going to prove them wrong. It's just a different reasoning, man. It's still the same thing that you're doing.
Error of my ways. I'm now morally doing the right thing.
Except like this time, instead of like, you know, you're trying to prove them wrong by sacrificing your own happiness now, basically. Like the action is still morally right, but now you're just doing it for the wrong reason.
So good for you. Very, very happy. Very, very nice. It's none of it. It's none of it. And likewise, neither does me wanting to pull for Castorice do the opposite thing. The only thing...
Why are you expecting to be complimented for doing the right thing? Sometimes doing the right thing does not give you compliment. I'm just gonna tell you that. I know. I've worked in a fucking company. I've worked with people where like the more I work, the more they give me more work. So sometimes doing the right thing does not give you benefit. The benefit of it is that you get to do the right thing. And you don't have to do it. But the moment you don't do it, you're not doing the right thing anymore, right?
That my decision now of not pulling Castorice, the only thing that shows is how ridiculous this entire narrative is, thinking that morality is tied to gacha games. Right? So,
yeah, but you're trying to like simplify it too much, you know? Again, like what Tecton said, there's level to it.
Then we've sort of come to almost the second last part, which is the solution, right? The solution offered by the people in the call, essentially JJ, right, the wizardry guy, the very chill guy, he asked, what do you expect MrPokke to do, right? And Tecton said that there is, in fact, a right way. There is a way to win this, right? I can do this thing by being right.
I feel like this issue is just so simple, right? Like there is a way that you win, and that's...
And he's talking about a moral win. He's not talking about like being happy. He's talking about being right.
Putting your moral...
So you can either be happy or be right, right? There's two outcomes. And he's talking about like the right way, which is like his way. Because he's talking from his perspective. And from his perspective, the right way is the right way. The moral win is the right way.
Above your enjoyment for a game. And then you win. You're like, yep, the character's bad. I don't like it. Even though I want to play it, I'm not...
Yeah, but like if you ask someone like Braxophone, the right way would be to pull for it because it's my job as a content creator, as an HSR content creator, right? It depends on the people you're asking for. You just happen to be asking like Tecton, a guy that clearly said that he would prioritize his morals
not going to pull it because I don't think it's good for the direction of the game. And I feel like that's just a win. You don't want to do that. That's fine. Then just say, yeah, you're right, guys. I know I said it was bad, but I pulled it anyways because it's fun. People are going to.
Yeah, he also said this. He also said it too. Like, you know, if you don't want to take the moral win, moral W, just do it. Just do it for your own thing, like for yourself. Just acknowledge it and like say like, hey, I know it's bad. I'm gonna do it anyway.
Shit on you. Oh well.
That's what everyone said. That's what every gacha player said to non-gacha players, right? Is that like, hey, I know gacha players is ass. The gacha system is ass. I'ma play it anyway. Same thing.
So the win is the win is me putting my morals higher than my personal enjoyment, because not pulling Castorice is the moral thing to do.
No, for what you have said, right? For what you have.
Yeah, he's saying for his situation in which Pokke already said that global passive is bad. If he never said that, he could have just pulled it without any moral high ground. He could pull it and he wouldn't be called a hypocrite. Why? Because he never said global passive is bad. But he also don't want that. He was like, but I don't agree, but I think moral passive is bad. What do you want me to do? Lie about it? Like, no, just don't talk about it. You don't have to lie about it. But if you made a statement that global passive is bad and then you buy the character, that's like, that says something.
Said, which is, this is bad for the game. It's very predatory.
Right.
CN, look at this. All this bullshit.
And I think, oh man, there's still so much more video. I'm gonna try to even faster it even more. Holy.
With Sunday, right? It's not looking good. I don't like this for my game, so I'm not going to pull for it, right? Now, it would have been no issue if you said, I don't care. But it's just because you said that you cared.
Then
it's because you said you care.
For I am now being a hypocrite because I cared, and I'm still going to progress. So essentially, the solution proposed was basically the following 3 solutions, right? Number 1, I actually genuinely support the global passive. Like, I'm not shitposting. I'm not mean.
Yeah.
I actually, from the bottom of my heart, I love global passive. Hail global passive. This is not a joke. Hail global passive, right? This is option 1. I support global passive to its entirety, and then I pull for Castorice. At this point, I'm not a hypocrite. I am quite literally just being a shield, right? I'm shielding for the game, even though it's a very predatory practice. Option 1. Option 2, I don't support Castorice, and then I skip Castorice, right? At this point, that was the solution, right? The morally right thing. I don't support, I skip. I'm not a hypocrite. I'm now morally justified. And then the third option is, I don't give a fuck about global passive, so that whatever Castorice does as a unit, it doesn't concern me, right? At this point, I'm not a hypocrite. I'm basically a...
Okay, so let me repeat this, because he's trying to explain his way, right? Let me repeat this in a slower manner.
I'm not meaning, I actually, from the bottom of my heart...
That, right?
So he said the solution is 1, he fully shield the game, support the global passive. Second of all, he doesn't say it. He said it's bad and he doesn't pull for it, which is a moral win.
Hail global passive, right? This is option 1. I support global passive to its entirety, and then I pull for Castorice. Mindless consumer playing. I'm not a hypocrite. I'm now being a shield, right? I'm shielding for the game, even though it's a very predatory practice. Option 1. Option 2. I don't support Castorice, and then I skip Castorice, right? At this point, that was the solution, right? The morally right thing. I don't support, I skip. I'm not.
This is the moral W, yeah.
Morally justified. And then the third option is, I don't give a fuck about global passive, so that whatever Castorice does as a unit, it doesn't concern me, right? At this point, I'm not a hypocrite. I'm basically a mindless consumer playing this game because, I just don't care. I absolutely don't care about anything. As long as the game, I'm going to be happy. Right? So tell me then, how do I decide which of these narratives do I go with?
Whatever feels right to you, right? This is a bad situation. Global passive is a bad thing as a whole. There's just no way of spinning it into something positive, right? There's just no way to spin it as something positive. So you have to take the L one way or another. Like it's like if you're playing League, sometimes people have to die in order to win the battle, right? Like you cannot exactly like expect every battle to be like a full team wipe ace, like you killed all of them by yourself with like, without any casualties. Like no. Skills have to be used, items have to be used, teammates might die, teammates might get revived, teammates might get baited. I said that like as if I'm playing League. No, I played a lot of Dota. It's something similar to the game. So I can kind of understand what like the game concept is, that like, some battles require sacrifices. There's just no way to like constantly coming out on the top without anyone dying. Unless you're fighting, unless you're playing against bots, I guess. But yeah.
Because the answer is there's no winning. There's no singular right choice.
You're right. There's no winning.
And even Jenna said, he was like, I will never win by playing Honkai Star as a game.
Yeah. You're not gonna even win if you quit Honkai Star Rail, because most of your viewers, your chatter here, they're all Honkai Star Rail players. So if you quit, you lose most of them. So even stopping, even if you stop yourself from playing the game, there's no win either. What Tecton said last night, right, was that like some of them, some of the wins you get now, some of the wins you get later in the future. Not everything has to be like, profitable now. It's like investing on a business. You can expect you can expect investment to be like giving you profit by tomorrow, like when you put in the money today.
There is no winning, right? I don't give a fuck about global passive because I do genuinely like playing GSR, right? So why must I?
You're still streaming? Hi, Jolin. Yeah, I'm still streaming.
Be forced to not give a fuck about global passive just so that I can pull her without being a hypocrite. I know I'm not a mindless consumer, right? I know the problems with HSR. I've been playing this game pretty much every single day for the past 2 years. So I can't be someone that just blindly plays a game and just ignore everything that's going on.
Okay, sure.
I also can't say that I support global passive because anyone with a fucking 2 eyeballs can see that this is a predatory practice.
Okay, so you're not a Hoyo shield. There you go. You have your answer. You're not a Hoyo shield, and you're not all dumb and consume, just consume. So you're basically just hypocrite because you already made a mistake in a step. There you go. You have your answer. You could have just done that. You could have been solving this problem like 5 hours ago.
And I'm not sure.
At least from my stream, based on like the counting of my stream.
Right. I know the implications of what this global passive is and like what it represents. So how can I pretend to like something when I know it's not the right thing to do, right?
You don't. That's why everyone already called you a hypocrite, because you are like the way you acted already kind of already shows you like where the direction, like where you want to go, where you truly want to go, is that you want to say the global passive is bad, but you still like the character so much you want to pull for her. That's why everyone already started calling you a hypocrite. It's because they can see that you really want to pull for her, even though you hated the global passive.
So now I can't pull for Castorice after saying I don't support global passive, because then, which is the situation I'm at right now, I'm a hypocrite.
You can. You just have to accept that you're a hypocrite, because you are, if you do it.
I can't be in the extreme end of fully supporting global passive or fully not supporting, and then therefore I'm going to be a hypocrite, or even...
No, the hypocrite is the middle ground. You either a full shill or you're a full consumer. The middle ground is the hypocrite route.
A middle ground in the middle, because there's no option of me pulling for Castorice because I like her or I like playing the game.
No, there isn't. Well, there is. People are still going to call you a hypocrite. You can pull for whatever reason you want. People are still going to call you a hypocrite because of what you already did. Doesn't matter if you pull her because, you're a basement dweller that loves like imagining yourself with 2D girls. It doesn't matter if you pull her because of her lore, her trailer PV. It doesn't matter what the reason is for pulling her. What matters is that if you pull her after what you did, after you made that video about like not agreeing with the global passive, it makes you a hypocrite. The action is what matters here.
Because that's not me putting my morality, right, my moral compass over my personal enjoyment, which is what makes it hypocritical, right? It means that I was unwilling to sacrifice my enjoyment to make a stand against global.
Yeah, it makes you hypocritical, and that's fine, right? Right, Jolin? Sleeping all the time is bad, but like if you want to do it, you just do it, right? Doesn't matter if there's like chores to be done at home. If you want to do it, if you want to sleep, just sleep. Is it hypocritical? Yeah, I could have get the job done. You guys, like, you shouldn't be sleeping all the time. You should be finishing your chores and do your homeworks and stuff like that. You can say that and then still sleep in the middle of the day anyway. It's fine. Everything is fine. The world's not gonna end if you do that. People are gonna call you a hypocrite, and then you're gonna be like, yep, I am. I'm a hypocrite. I'm a lazy person. What you gonna do about it?
Global passive against this predatory. It means that as a creator, I have failed to uphold the construct, right? The societal construct, the community's construct, that pulling Castorice means I'm supporting global passive after I criticize it. So do you remember at the start of the whole thing?
This is so stupid. Yes, this is so stupid. He's making a big deal out of it. You're so right. Tasty Ice, whatever his name is. And no, that's not. No, that's exactly how it works. This is so stupid. He's making too big of a deal out of it. What he should do is like make no big deal of it and just accept the L. It's gonna be an L anywhere, like any way he goes. I don't know what is going on. So Honkai Star Rail has a new character that can affect your entire account by just pulling for her. And everyone was saying about how like this is a bad system, a bad design, and like it's gonna set a bad example for the future like updates. And he agrees with that. Like this guy here, MrPokke, he agrees with that, but he said he's gonna pull for the character anyway. So everyone was like, hey, if you do that, you're going to be called a hypocrite. And he doesn't like that. He doesn't like being called a hypocrite. So he came to them and be like, hey, what should I do to not be called a hypocrite? And they told him, like, you just don't pull for the character. And then his answer was like, but I like the character. I want to pull it just because I like her. I don't care about the global passive. Like, the global passive is bad. I don't like it either. But I like the character. And like, everyone else was like, then you're gonna be a hypocrite. If you do it, you're gonna be a hypocrite. If you don't want to be called like a hypocrite, the only way is to like to not pull. So now he went on like a rant about like how he's not gonna pull it, not because he wanna be morally right, but but because he's being petty and he wanna prove them wrong. He wanna prove them that like even without global passive, he's just gonna win. Just accept the L. I know the problem is that he doesn't want to accept the L because like he already said earlier, right? There's 3 ways he can go to this. He can either fully shill on Hoyo games and like on Honkai Star Rail, and then global passive is good and like everyone shouldn't make a big deal out of it, which makes him a shill. Or he's gonna be like global passive is bad and not pull for it and be morally right the other way, right? This is the other extreme, and then like you can be in the middle ground. Is that like global passive is bad, but I like the game. I'm gonna pull it anyway. Fuck you all. The hypocrite route, which is the middle ground, and he doesn't want to do any of it. I reject your reality and I substitute it with my own. That's what he's doing right now.
Do you remember what I said my biggest crime was? Like my biggest mistake? It's because I love the game too much as a creator.
Clearly, you don't love the game. If you love the game so much, you wouldn't work. You wouldn't make such a big deal out of it. Like there's something called tough love out there. Sometimes you gotta beat them up to like let them know like that this isn't good for you. The same thing happens to Honkai Star Rail. Sometimes you're just not gonna like swipe for a character to show them that, hey, this is a bad move. Do something else. Do something better. Be better. Don't be sorry. Be better. So this whole stream is his rant and him trying to justify it. Yep. This 1 hour and 30-minute video is basically the 1 hour is like him ranting, and like the 30 minutes is like basically his call with the people. And my reaction to it in total is almost 6 hours right now. It's kind of crazy.
And if I didn't give a fuck about HSR and I just log in once to patch, if I don't even play my own account and I only play on the creator server, right? If I mained another Gacha game, like I did, for example, Wuthering Waves, which is basically what everybody.
And he can like the whole reason for me, the whole reason I'm reacting to this in the first place is I don't like how like he keeps dragging in like Wuthering Wave, and he keeps doing bad example for Wuthering Wave. So he's comparing the whole like global passive thing to Cantarella in Wuthering Wave, where she can swim faster than the other characters. And he's also comparing the global passive thing with like how pulling for eidolons, like constellation for characters. And like, what are you talking about? Like, constellation is already the basic system of gacha games. That is like a war we already lost. That is not comparable because global passive is something new that we can still stop, and constellation is something that already happened. Yeah, he was saying about like how like pulling for constellation is, you know, just as game breaking as like global passive. And and to me, it's like global passive is something new. It is a disaster. It is a flood that we can still stop. It is a disaster that we can avoid. Like, constellation is a problem that already happened. Like, this is how all gacha game works now. And the Cantarella comparison, like for Wuthering Wave, is that like Cantarella can swim faster. So in a way, Kuro Games is locking like convenience, like quality of life behind a certain characters. And like, sure, that can set a bad example. But like at the same time, when before they even release Cantarella, right? Before even, because Cantarella comes out at 2.2, and Rinasita starts at like 2.0. Before Cantarella was even released, we already have like swimming. Wouldn't that be almost be like similar to Furina? Yeah, that's the thing. He could have used Genshin as an example because they have Furina, they have like Mavuika, they have like all these Natalan characters that like locked skills behind, like, you know, behind characters, like for traveling, right? With like Silonen and everyone like that. But he uses Wuthering Wave as an example instead. So that's why like I was like kind of mad. Because he's trying to drag like Wuthering Wave into this whole thing. Like, I'm not saying Wuthering Wave is perfect, but like, I don't know why you have to drag, like, of all the games that you can drag, you have to drag like a game that has the least amount of problems so far. And has like literally nothing to do with it, honestly. Genshin does the same thing. Genshin does things even worse. Because like in Wuthering Wave, you can actually fly for free, right? And gondola, the small like ships on like Wuthering Wave, it's free, and it's already available like a couple patches before before Cantarella even got released. Meanwhile, global passive is like a something that will affect your account for the rest of your life, even if you don't use the character. You don't even have to use the character. That's the thing. If you just own the character in your account, everyone gets the buff every single time. So yeah,
what in the call was meaning.
I think that's a bit too big difference.
It would have made it a lot easier.
And also, global passive makes you win battles, right? Because like it affects your combat. Like faster swimming, as bad as it is, and Genshin, like even like Mavuika and like all the Natalan character, as bad as it is, does not affect like how you win your battles. Maybe that one boss, but like it does. Like what does? The Genshin one does, because like there's one boss that you have to like climb the rock in, like the rock, and like you cannot climb the rock normally. You have to use like Natalan skills. I still remember this because like I have to help my friend fight it. The global passive, it does, because it's on Honkai Star Rail, and the effect is that you revive your team. Like every team get like a free revive basically for one time. And the problem is that you don't have to equip the character. The character does not have to be in the party for you to get the revive. This is gameplay affecting. This is like game changing basically. Depending on like the way you play the game, right? It can be game changing. Because like now basically everyone gets a second chance just from having the character. So yeah, it's a bigger thing. I think it's a bigger problem. It's way bigger comparing to like the faster swimming that's not even like most people doesn't even use. Like unless you want to see Cantarella wet, like I said earlier.
Easier for me to just skip Castorice, no questions asked. And honestly, this is my fault, right? Because I do like HSR to a pretty unhealthy level degree, right?
Okay, good. You agree to that. You could have just keep pulling for her. No one's gonna stop you, bro. Trust me.
For someone to keep streaming every single day this much, it's honestly pretty weird. So I'm sorry, guys. Yep.
Look at this. The reaction of the chat is like really not healthy. Not gonna lie. Let's keep going because like I feel like, oh man, why is it still so long?
Moral compass, right? It's very, very easy for everyone in the call, minus JJ, who was just there to chill, to appear in a position of moral superiority, right? A position where they're standing on business. They are doing the right thing by condemning global passive and skipping Castorice altogether. Because why? Why?
Very. The launch of Emphorius killed all enjoyment that I have. So I'd probably say in the past 18 weeks, I have to say I played
of creating home guys already. Because let's just be real, every single people in this room, you guys probably don't really play that much anymore, right?
No.
I would say I.
So he's basically saying that like it doesn't matter for them because they don't play the game. First of all, the fact that they don't play the game and still cared should show you something, right? Like if they truly don't care about the game, they would have stopped caring. They wouldn't even say anything about it, right? It kind of like it's like when a parent gets mad. Like I used this example earlier, but it's like when a parent gets mad at their children, right? They get mad because they care, not because like not because they just enjoy being mad. And like second of all, like if they truly don't care, they could have just keep playing the game and pull for the character, right? Because if they truly don't care, who cares about the morality of like the situation, right? Like if they don't care about if they don't care about the game, if they don't care the implication for the game, they're just gonna do it anyway and they'll be fine. And then third of all is that like there is a reason they all stop, right? Probably not just global passive, but global passive is probably like one of the many reasons they stop. So maybe they should maybe like he should like revisit that too. Though unfortunately he's no longer friends with Mr. Tectone, according to like his own statement and Mr. Tectone's statement. So I guess he'll never do that. Maybe, who knows? They said that they're not gonna interact like on stream. So who knows if they're still talking off stream.
Played quite a bit until recently, and then Emphorius, the launch of Emphorius.
Oh, global passive is bad. It's a bad thing. I'm gonna skip it, right? I'm gonna skip. My bad. And now you gain the support of basically anyone that basically every single people in that call, they either quitting, or just never play HSR to begin with, right? And the entire persona of being morally justified by calling out Castorice because they are thinking about the consumers, right? They're thinking about the community, or they're thinking about.
But they are. It's something that wouldn't affect them as a player, right? Because they don't play the game, and yet they choose to talk about it. You can argue it's for marketing reason. It's like an easy content, sure. But you should also see the other picture, like the other side of the coin is that like you gotta inform the people somewhat. Like if you can make money along the way, then so be it, right? But yeah, making money might be one of the mission, but it doesn't always have to be like the main mission. And like them making content about it shows how much they care about the well-being of the long-term well-being of the game and the players, because they don't want the players to eventually get power creep with every single patch because now every character has like a global passive that you need to have down the road, that is. And this is basically the gate. It just depends on whether you're gonna open it or not, and we'll see when the banner actually drops, like how much they're making, right?
It's just a lie, man.
Like this actually in a way shows, like, again, this actually shows they truly care about the game, the state of like gacha games. Because if they don't care about the state of the gacha games, you guys got to remember, everyone that is like on the video call here, they're probably all like big enough to make money. Like they're all like a prominent enough like streamers that they make money off playing gacha games, which means like they can basically just swipe on every single gacha games account that they play. They have literally, including MrPokke right here, they all technically can just keep going even if gacha games get more power creep, because like in terms of financial situation, they have the money to be able to do that every single time. And even better, they're probably like financially incentivized to do that every single time, to spend money in the game, right? You can use it as like a business expenses. You can get some of the money back, and you still get to have fun with the game too. But the fact that they chose to make a stand out of it, like I think it kind of showed that like they do care about like the state of gacha games in general. It doesn't mean they care about the game. Maybe they don't care about the game, but they do care about like the people that are playing it, and they do care about the gacha game as a whole.
They're thinking about the consumers, right? They're thinking about the community, or they're thinking about it's just a lie, man. You are not skipping Castorice.
It's not a lie. Just because I care about making money off my videos does not mean I don't care about like what my videos does to my viewers, right? Right? Does that not make sense? Like, you know, if I make a video about saving people, like, you know, about like CPR, like sure, I would love to make money off like the video about making CPR, and if I do make money off it, great. But when I make the video about CPR, what do you think I make it? Like, do I like, are people gonna like, are people gonna like down the road and be like, hey, this video has like 10 million views, like this dude must be making it because they wanted to make money? And like, no, bro, it's to help people. Just because I make money on like on the way there does not mean it's the main objective.
You're not proving a stand for morality. You're skipping because you simply don't give a fuck.
It's the opposite for me. If I don't care about the game, if I don't care the state of gacha games, I'll pull whatever I want, whenever I want. Like if I don't care about like the state of like what the Honkai Star Rail will be like 2 years, 4 years, 5 years from now, I'll just pull Castorice E6 at R5. Fuck everyone that cannot afford that, you know? You all should just get alive and get a better job, make more money. If you cannot keep up and the game dies, hey, I just killed your favorite game. I just helped them. I just helped them kill your favorite game. There you go. You can thank me. It's all on me. Right? This is like someone that actually don't care, right? Like don't care about the state of the gacha game, right?
There's nothing for you to lose from skipping Castorice. It's a very, very easy farm for you, right?
This one is true. There is nothing to lose if you don't play the game.
Very, very easy way to say, oh, global passive is bad. It's a bad thing. I'm gonna skip, right? I'm gonna skip. My bad. And now you gain the support of basically anyone that thinks
the laundry is still not finished.
No,
Monster Hunter. No, I was planning to play Monster Hunter before I found this video. I'm not gonna play Monster Hunter tonight. It's already 5 a.m. There's no way I'm playing Monster Hunter right now, or like I'm playing Monster Hunter later, like when I have my day off.
And you are now the morally justified position because you're gonna skip everything anyways because you don't care. You don't play HSR, right? For example, if Zani was gonna be released in Warring Wave, but with, let's just say for example, the most predator.
And again, he brings like Warring Wave into it as his example.
Predators right now. Be it if Zani has a global passive, you know, be it if she has a quality of life, be it if she's the most fucking broken unit in Warring Wave since 1.0 and she completely destroys the game balance with damage. Would you have the same level of scrutiny and commitment by saying that this is a predatory practice and therefore you're gonna skip Zani?
They probably like here's my take on it. They're probably gonna have the same scrutiny. I don't know about like the morality of it, right? Like they're probably gonna still scrutinize the game, but like whether they actually gonna still pull for it or not, it depends on like how much like, you know, their love to the game is compared to like their moral high grounds, right? So he's not wrong in some ways. But I'm just saying they're gonna still complain about it either way. I believe, I have some semblance of belief that they will still complain about it. Now I cannot say whether they will, you know, pull for her or not. you know, maybe they'll downgrade their polls. Maybe they started, you know, they started off wanting to pull like S6 for like Zani, and then like maybe I'm just gonna get the Zani and like stop. It's kind of like what Tecton did with like Arlecchino, right? Like at first I want to like C6 her, and then like the patch was so shit, I'm gonna do just like C0. Same thing, right? So that can happen. Or maybe they'll stop entirely playing the game, who knows? But all I know is that like they will definitely say something about it.
I don't think you would, because at the end of the day,
see, he's having such a bad fate for like he's doing such he had such a bad fate for people that he considered as his friends, because he keep repeating like during the entire video, right, about like, I consider these people as my friends, you know, I've met them in real life, blah blah blah, blah and like, bro, won't you have more faith in your friends? The way you speak right now, it's not like the way you're speaking, like, you know, the way you speak about your friends. It's like saying and you're not even doing it in a jokingly manner, right? It's not like the way I tell Jolin about like, how you like, hey Jolin, you keep sleeping every time instead of like hanging out with me and stuff like that. Like, you know, when I said that to Jolin, like Jolin knows that I'm doing it in like a jokingly manner, right? Like, but this dude is straight up like angry. This dude is straight up like ranting right now with a whole hour video about it. About the people that he called friends.
you enjoy playing volume waves. Nothing wrong with that, by the way. Zero thing wrong with that.
And exactly, yeah, and also, yeah, like when, like if people do like ended up like not supporting the actions, and then like they if people, no, if people ended up saying that like, hey, Zani is like way too broken and stuff like that, but I'm still gonna pull for it anyway, they're gonna be called a hypocrite too. And they can still choose to ignore it. Like, they can just be like, yeah, I'm a hypocrite, I guess, I love the game that much, and people are gonna move on from it. Some people are gonna unfollow, some people are gonna leave, some people are gonna unsubscribe, but like, then at the end of the day, like, most people are gonna stick around and be like, hey, yeah, you know what, yeah, fair, you like the game that much, I guess, move on. Like other like, you know.
And respectfully, other than Tecton, right, everyone else in that call, they main volume waves. If you don't really believe that this is, you know, what I think will happen, then here's my question, right? Why didn't people shit on Acheron like Castorice on release? Because Acheron had the ability to completely ignore mobs in the overroll, in the AS, in the DU, right? It is a very, very tangible quality of life that I would argue has a lot bigger of an impact for the casuals than the Castorice global passive. And
he has a point. I think Acheron is just the first time it has ever happened that like not enough backlash is. I think it's the same case as like the horse armor in Oblivion, is that like some people try to speak, but like the voice of complaint is not loud enough that it ended up getting glazed over. And also, like, you know, just like Castorice, like Acheron has some really good marketing behind it. So people ended up like glazing it over, and look at where we are now. We have Castorice now because we let Acheron slip by. Because we let Acheron slip by, we ended up like having the super break, and then we ended up like having like a, like, you know how like Robin have like elemental penetrations, and how Facial ended up happening. Facial also happened because we let Acheron go, right? And this is what happened when you let one slip by. Like, I think like Acheron is actually the perfect example on as to why you shouldn't let Castorice go. Because like, if you let Castorice go by and let them make profit off her, they're gonna do the exact same thing they did with Acheron, is that they're gonna come up with like a better version of it. Like, it's like from Acheron to Fei Xiao. Because Acheron went down a tier because Fei Xiao came in, right? It's gonna be the same thing as Castorice now, like after this, right? If you let it happen. So yeah, I think that's the argument that I would like make.
and you either get Acheron or you don't get Acheron. If you don't have
By
it,
the way, I do get Acheron. I actually started playing the game like Hongai Star Rail because of Acheron, i.e. 6 or 2. Does he already admit he's being hypocritical? No. He just said he's not gonna pull for the characters, but not because of the morals, but because he wanna prove a point to like every one of like his quote unquote friends. He's being petty basically instead. He chose to be petty. He's being He's being morally right now, but he's also being really petty about it. And he's trying to drag everyone down by like saying that like, oh, I'm basically being cornered right now by my friends, and that's why I came up with this move to fight them back, basically.
Go fuck yourself, right? She completely also, on top of that,
yeah, he's killing like his relationship with every one of them. That's exactly why Tecton came up and like said like, I'm not gonna be friend with this guy anymore. I'm not gonna interact with him like on streams. I'm not sure about the off-stream relationship, right? But like he's not gonna like interact with him like on stream at all.
Destroyed the entire DPS tier list, right? She basically almost doubled, quite literally almost doubled every other E0 unit in version 1. Every single concept in HSR from the start, right? You know, elemental weakness, you know, placing the right team, doesn't really matter. You have a built-in you have the built-in res pen from the ultimate, and you had a one-turn ultimates. At launch, she also had the most broken E2 as well as Signature Light Cone for any DPS that ever launched HSR. So
it is. And we let that pass by, and that's why we're here now, because we let Acheron pass by. Don't make the same mistake twice.
Acheron a unit that's
fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
Less predatory than global passive? Is this not an appeal to the consumers for
It is not worse than global passive. Acheron still needs to be on the team. Like, Acheron still needs to be on the team to be OP. That means in MOC, which has 2 sides, you can only be OP in one side. You still need a good party on the other side to win the fucking MOC. Let's track a little bit. How does Wild do? Better than World. In terms of difficulty, it's easier. In terms of like the overall game is more casual. It's still the same. It's Monster Hunter World casualized, basically. So if you like Monster Hunter World, you wish the game was easier, Wild is perfect. If you like Monster Hunter World, you wish the game is harder, you're in the wrong spot. You should play the other Monster Hunter games. It's like Monster Hunter World maps with Monster Hunter Rise gameplay in a way. In a way, I said.
Pulling this overpowered unit. Not to mention, after Acheron came out, the HP inflation for HSR for all endgame basically just went to shit, right? So why didn't...
Yeah, I mean, Acheron did start the whole HP inflation thingy because she's just that powerful. And again, you still need her to be there, right? Global passive just means like doesn't matter if you have the character on the team or not.
People boycott Acheron for moral superiority. Since, you know,
some people do boycott it. It's just there's not enough voice right that they failed back there, and that's why we have all of this problem.
Could make even more broken units than Acheron, right? Just like how they could make even more.
They did. It's called Fei Xiao. That's why Acheron went down a tier. Because Fei Xiao came out and like she went to T0 immediately, and Fei Xiao and Acheron went down to T05 on Pritwin, right? Isn't there a whole like new debacle about that later, like last time, like for the Acheron enjoyers, where like the Acheron went down 1 tier because Fei Xiao came out?
Broken global passives. Now this is just my guess, but it's because back then, during Acheron, people enjoyed it. People enjoyed playing Honkai Star Rail, right? You like the gameplay,
and people still do. You can, like I said, you can still enjoy the game, bro. I feel like I keep repeating the point again. I don't know if I want to keep going.
You like the story, you like the lore, you like the Firefly experience with your girl.
Yeah, that's true. The story used to be better. The story is also shit right now, which does not help the game's case. That's the problem. It's a bunch. The problem is not just the passive too. The problem comes from every front. The story is shit. The gameplay gets shittier, and now they're trying to introduce a new mechanic that will break the game in a whole new level. That's the problem. The problem is a compilation of problems. But let's move to the closing thought. Honestly, I'm getting really tired.
We have basically come to the end of this video. I honestly had a lot more things to say when I was digesting what happened, but I'm kind of glad that
he's 15 minutes in and he still have a lot more to say.
I chilled. I went to the gym. I really think things out. I don't want to get too emotional, and I'm not gonna have like a...
You're still emotional though. all of this like outbursts of like outbursts and like the way he said things, he's still emotional about it. He just doesn't feel the emotion. He's not realizing that he's still emotional about it. That's why the way he said things is like really biased.
Fucking panic attack on a crowd stream, or I didn't want to make
even
this video.
Even me right now, I'm not entirely emotionless, right? I still have some emotion, especially since like he keeps dragging Wuthering Wave around, which is like for me is arguably like the better game. But like I feel like I can be more logical here in some ways, and like I feel like I can like some of the words that I'm saying here, I think like it rings some true, it rings some truth.
Video just to start this. I think this is most likely going to be a war, but I didn't want to start this war for fun. Or even worse, please don't think this by the way, I don't want to make this video to cater to fucking Hoyo shills or Kuro bots, people that hate other content. It's not for you, by the way. Whatever kind of gacha tribalism, whatever tribe that you are from.
You said that, but you keep cornering like Kuro games earlier, right? As an example, you keep dragging Kuro game like Wuthering Wave as an example there earlier. I don't know. I feel like in confusion, you already have done like some gacha tribalism, and you already dragged in the Kuro bots and like all the people that play Kuro games in here.
Go back there, get a grip in life, and maybe do.
Said the dude that is like doing a 1 hour rant about being shamed for pulling a 2D enemy girl. You're literally making a rant about people telling you that you're a hypocrite for pulling an anime girl, which you technically are. In principle, you are being a hypocrite if you do that, but no one is stopping you, bro. Yet you make an hour rant about it.
Do something that contributes to society.
I do. Believe it or not, I work in the hospital. I help people save life. Part of basically the surgical service.
Okay, if you want to,
I don't know if that's not enough to you. I don't know what else to say.
Push your politics or like your agenda for whatever company, whatever game. This is not the video, right? There are way, way, way better content creators that can do that for you. And I did it for this particular topic because I feel like sometimes, at least for myself, I need to draw the line, even with my friends, right? I fucking hated that I even need to do this video in the first place because, like I mentioned, right?
Turns out you can do something that you hate. Just like not pulling for Castorice. You turns out you can do something that you hate, right? Well, what do you know? I think we should stop here. I think the closing thought is just gonna be him doing like keep repeating these points.
Hecton, Janazek, Shinya, all the kind of stuff. We are basically all gacha creators in space. And I've met all of them in Austin, right? And I know that this video is going to burn bridges, 100%.
Burn bridges, 100%. He knows about it. Still does it anyway. I hate to do this. Does it anyway. It's gonna cause problems. Does it anyway. I don't want to cause gacha tribalism. I don't want to cause a gacha war. Does it anyway. I don't even know, bro. I think that's it. I think we should stop here. Oh my god, it's almost 6 hours. I was supposed to be hunting Zoshia today. Instead, I have to react to this whole mess. Well, I don't have to, but I feel compelled to after watching like the reaction of it. So I think we stop here. I think I got the point across already beforehand. Yeah, basically the conclusion of this whole thing is that like Tecton broke off with MrPokke. For those who didn't know, they literally made a public announcement that they've discussed things like in DMs and they've decided to part ways. They're no longer gonna interact on stream. They specifically said it that way, so I'm not sure if they're gonna do still interact like off stream, because I am not, I don't know them in real life. So yeah, but I do hope you guys find my reaction to be like somewhat helpful, and like the way I say things to be like insightful. I hope you guys can see the points that I'm trying to make. If you guys agree with what my takes are and my opinion, feel free to like the video. Feel free to subscribe to me, ring that notification button. If you're not agreeing with me, you can always leave a comment. Like honestly, you can leave a comment whether you like my video or not. Just say it down there like what you know, what you like about it, what you don't like about it. I should probably like shout out my YouTube video real quick, which I'm gonna open here. View my channel. Okay, this is my YouTube video right here, and the chat, feel free to like subscribe them. I would really appreciate if you subscribe and like watch my videos and give, you know, leave a like, leave a comment. Helps with all my content. I know it's a small amount, and I'm not, I don't know, I just literally restarted the YouTube thing again. Hopefully I can improve things moving forward, especially in terms of length, because like this is basically a 6-hour stream, which I'm gonna split into 3 hours. But yeah, thank you so much, Lunaria. I will try my best to have a good rest. Thank you so much for everyone who's watching, whether you guys lurking, chatting, playing with me. I appreciate you all. I hope I'll see you guys again on my next stream, whenever that is. And for now, I'm Miss Jiao.